Welcome to This Week in D&D. I'm DM Jack, and we have Kara playing Agalia,
Hello.
Aylin being played by Katie,
Hi there.
you being played by Chris,
Good evening, everyone.
Red Wolf being played by Justin,
It's your boy.
and Relentless being played by Sensei.
Meow.
And with Travis probably running a little bit late from work. Who
Thanks,
plays
Jesus.
Giz. Do not. If the mattress, if they're having some kind of Easter sale at that mattress place, and he just comes on, gets on, is just like the commission I made.
Yeah, man, then it'd be like, thanks, Jesus.
It really is the day of rest.
Yeah, you think he slept well for 3 days in a cave? Not without these mattresses. Come and get you one. 30% off.
Look at these prices. They're practically a
Holy
new
Spirit.
man.
Well, in our last episode, we left off with heading
I'm
to
not done with this bit.
You got a few more in you.
Yeah, the springs in this mattress will leave you feeling resurrected. Okay, I'm done.
We left off last episode after taking 10 days of downtime with everyone doing what they pleased, committing crimes, having sex with several people, working normal jobs, creating special items. And originally you were on the way to the trial, but since Giz isn't here, instead you guys are all heading back to the Adventurers Guild, and the trial is
It's a mistrial. We
pushed
got off
off
scot-free.
to the next day or two.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
So when you guys get back to the Adventurers Guild, Giz gets up and goes, "I'll be right back." And he holds up his wrist with the attachment still on it that he has not gotten rid of yet. "I'm gonna get this taken off and do some investigating." And he walks off. You guys are back in the Adventurers Guild.
What time of day is it?
It's about midday.
Are there any contracts or anything that people may need help with that might take a little bit of time?
You can check with the barmaid or the jobs board, because they actually have a contract board here.
Oh, they got a jobs board? Yeah, Relentless is going to go over and check out that jobs board.
All right. As you approach the bar, you see your friend sitting at the bar. And he approaches you. "Ah, you! I hope you have luck in your adventures, finding pieces of the rod. I'm leaving on mine to look for the piece I am searching for. Hopefully we will meet again, back home or somewhere along the roads."
I look forward to seeing you again, brother.
And then he puts his arm around you and pulls you off to the side, away from your friends and his group as well. And he turns to you and he goes, "Piece I have found is in the Feywild. So, if I don't return, that's where I was searching. And figured I'd need to let somebody know in case, well, things go wrong. Keep this information to yourself, okay? Can't have others knowing of this piece of the rod.
We wouldn't want it falling into the wrong hand.
Of course not. See you around, brother. And he shakes your hand, goodbye, and he walks out with his group of friends.
I'm going to rejoin and order a drink.
All right?
I'm drinking at the bar.
All right. Ogalia?
Drinks all around, I guess.
All right. Red Wolf.
She'll just drink water, though.
Shots, 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 shots.
Okay. All right. Relentless. Looking for more work to do. You find a couple of easy jobs that would be helping out around town, and anything crazy. Just asking for an extra hand to do random work.
As long as it's not HJ's in an alley, I think I'm pretty equipped.
All right. You pick up one of the jobs that just looks like it's going to be doing some minor moving of items and stuff, nothing crazy. And you take it and you head off to your destination alone.
Dope. Do I make any money?
A couple of blocks from the Adventurers Guild, you hear Relentless. And you look over and you see Tanzir standing in an alley,
Oh,
waving
God.
to you.
Can I roll perception to see if I heard him?
Oh, he's made his presence known.
So I have to deal with this short fuck. Okay. Relentless is gonna walk over to Tanzir. Yeah, what do you want?
Have you thought more about the offer? Just handing over the artifacts and going home?
I think we're gonna hold on to this piece until, if you can't delve the information as to what they're for.
Oh. I guess I could inform you. For an even trade of information, if that would be agreed upon. I inform you what the artifacts may possibly be for. And you tell me if you have any idea where more artifacts are.
That seems like a pretty fair trade. You go first.
He's like, I'm a man of honor. And he reaches out his hand. Are you a man of honor as well?
Of course I'm a man of honor. And I reach out my hand as well.
Alright. Persuasion or deception if you're going to give him information for realsies or not.
I will roll persuasion.
Okay. He looks you up and down. Alright. It's said that the artifacts are incredibly powerful, even separated. But when they're brought together, they create an item. They say that item unlocks a gate to one of the other planes that will allow gods to pass in between.
Okay, so it can go to another plane of existence. How is that?
No, you're missing the point. Do you think gods can just walk back and forth in between the planes as they please?
Well, I guess not.
Exactly.
So this will allow a strong god to come here?
Or one to leave. What do you know of the legends of the statues in our homeland? You don't remember much of these statues in your homeland. You just remember that they were probably about 100 or so feet tall, and the statues were of a giant and a dragon wrestling each other.
Okay. So are those statues that I've seen before a reference to a god that may be on this plane of existence trying to leave or come here?
It is believed that with that gate opening, those gods can return to this plane after being banished.
So you're gonna bring back something that's been banished? You really think that's a great idea?
They were here before us. They'll be here after us eventually. They'll be here returned with their own kind. And of course, I worship them.
Well, how good was my role to tell him? Because do we have any information on any additional artifacts?
Yeah, you do. You have that entire pamphlet Thrall gave you.
Alright, well, I'll give him information on one
Alright.
of the artifacts. And make
Which
it
one?
the farthest one away from where we currently are. Or potentially the most dangerous area.
Well, you need to decide which one you believe that is.
Do I have that note?
Yeah, it should be in your inventory. I believe you actually have it.
Yeah, I thought I did. Adventures Guild
Yeah.
card, artifact.
Thrall's notes at the
Thrall's
it's pretty
notes.
close to the
Yep.
bottom.
Bap. Let's see. Help by creatures. One I found in Saradash. The kobolds had it. It was easy takes. Help by creatures. An Azael, ancient red dragon, location unknown. Red kobolds serve Azael. The ones who serve her extremely loyal. Garwin, the Death Storm, location Riatham, an island off of the west of the Sword Coast. Hey, a storm giant. That sounds pretty hard to fight, right? So I'll leave it up to the group to decide. So we have the Death Storm. It's an island off of the west Sword Coast, and they have to fight a storm giant. Then there's Forged in Lava, Great Peak Mountain, a Dragger Slave, fetal memories of the art being used in the Fire Giant. So it's a Fire Giant. And then in Frost Giant. So it looks like they're all giants that guard these things. So Frost, Ice, or Storm.
Fire.
I was thinking Fire too. Yeah. So I'll give him information on Torthius, Forged in Lava, and the Great Peak Mountains, south end of the mountain.
Alright.
Because I am a man of my word.
Quite far from here, but as to be expected. Thank you for that information. Wish your master well if you see him in your travels. And he turns and he walks away.
For the people at home, can you give a brief summary?
Of which one?
Just like the last episode, kind of like what we got into.
And the last episode, you guys, in the last episode, after the murder of the noble Alex, Relentless and Aelin went down to the station, taken by guards to give sworn testimonies of what they saw that night. They proceeded to pass, presumably to them, maybe. No, you guys passed all the checks.
I was hoping so.
Relentless not having to tell a single lie for the most part, and Aelin fibbing a bit here and there.
Lie her ass off.
Possibly helping in the murder of somebody and kind of shoving it off onto not them.
Yeah.
Did some things.
Some stuff happened. And with Red Wolf and Giz helping out the pet store owner and getting a actual trial date set to hopefully help her save her store and to to help save her store and maybe pay less on the damages and for what happened in the noble section. And afterwards, they all gathered together after taking 10 days of doing as they pleased. Aelin committing a crime and stealing from a noble with another group of criminals. You going around to the houses of worship and whispering the prayers of Baal into people's ears. Red Wolf having a lot of sex and making connections.
Getting down, you know? I met Turd Ferguson.
Yeah, you met Turd Ferguson.
He owes me a favor.
And Relentless and Agalia, they took normal jobs. Well, Agalia took a normal farming job for the week. Oh, and she also made potions. Giz made alchemic jars, and Relentless fought in a pit for those 10 days. After those 10 days were up, they got together again and began looking around town. Or actually, sorry, this happened before the 10 days. They gathered together and they went looking for the Displacer Beast kittens, having found out that the guards had not actually tracked them down yet. And they found 2 in the original house. Red Wolf and Giz delivered the Displacer Beast and let it loose upon people there. And then they found 2 at the destination they were originally supposed to take it to, guarded by 2 town guards, which they took care of. They also found 2 Gricks in the basement, and the noble house seemed to be in disarray and had to been abandoned for some time. So after that, they were originally supposed to go to the trial, but he's must be at work still.
His IRL job, not in-game
Yeah.
job. But we here, and that's pretty much that's a pretty good update of where we are now. So we're just biding time, trying to find things, and randomly running into Tanzir, who's the little dwarf man that wants to collect all the relics for potentially something bad or good. We don't really know, but it doesn't seem to be good if he's trying to be all sneaky about it. So it's kind of where we're at. I don't trust his little hands.
So after trading a bit of lore and what he knows of the artifact, presumably to open a gate that allows the gods, at least the ones that are not allowed to go as they please in between the material and other planes of existence. And And since Giz is now, I sent him off to get his one restraint taken off and to do some investigating or whatnot. They're currently technically killing some time, but I think the trial's going to happen if he doesn't show up anyways. But Relentless, you proceed afterwards to your job, which you spend the day doing.
Nice.
You make 5 gold.
Is it helping old ladies cross the street? Because I really love helping old ladies cross the street.
It's helping an elderly woman around town for the day who needed assistance.
Okay, because I just picture Relentless picking them up and chucking them across the street.
Yeet.
Hold this, all-timers. Yeet!
Screaming from across the road.
Back
You're
in
welcome.
the Adventurers Guild,
I came
You
for these
guys
paper
are-
stacks.
just going to be sitting around partying.
Getting turned.
I would say preparing for the trial, but yes, it looks very similar to partying. Getting sloshed.
How are you preparing for said trial?
Getting sloshed. These are big thoughts, and Red Wolf doesn't want to think them, so I'm gonna numb the old brain pan.
See, you say thoughts, but I heard thoughts.
Oh, you.
These are big thoughts. You damn straight they are. Extra thick.
You did forget to mention in your recap of last episode the gentleman thief hired us. To get
Oh,
him
yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, the gentleman thief made his reappearance and has officially hired the group to
And-
seek him.
I think I spent the evening with him, keeping an eye on him, and maybe more.
Well, you stayed outside of his. The most you could do is like stay in the lobby of the hotel. You couldn't actually get up to his room.
Not even with a baller stealth check?
No, not at that hotel.
They got some creaky ass
So you were
floorboards.
taken up to Alver Slit. The I know words, but I don't know how to pronounce that one.
But
yeah,
I like Elver Slut better.
Elver slut.
Ever Slut.
Ever slut. Yeah. Forza said, so did I. Talking about the big thoughts.
Uh, Alright, so you guys are getting ripped and roared up in here.
Extra rip.
Give me perception checks.
Relentless included?
No, you're not at the Adventurers Guild.
Okay.
Agalia, Aelin, you hear it. But Red Wolf and you're a bit busy in your little drinks. And you hear in the back, "Scammer! Cheater!" And then clawing. "You cheated this game!" And then you look over and you see, well, Aelin, you see the little own red kobold reaching at a table, digging his claws in as another person across from him goes about picking off a bunch of coins on the table and sliding cards over And she looks over and she goes, "You just played your hands very bad. I'll allow you another round to win your coin back." And you just hear more scratching. "Yes, deal again. I win this time." He seems to have a few other people at the table that are around playing cards with him.
I'm gonna nudge Red next to me and say, "Hey, interested in a game of cards? Looks like that person might be scamming a lot of people out of their money. Maybe you should go scam them out of their money." Hey.
What makes you think I am good at such things?
Well, I don't know. You just seem the kind that might be good at cards.
No, it is not my game, but if you want me to hit them, I would do that for you.
No, don't hit them. But I wish there was a way to know if they were cheating or not.
We could ask them.
Could do that.
Or I could hit them until they tell us what we want to know. I'm good at that game.
Well, I think people here might be a little upset if we just start punching someone.
I do have a trial pending. Maybe I should not cause any trouble.
That's true. I guess we won't do anything about it then.
All right. Aelin, as you're sitting there, you recognize the person Zeke is playing across from. When you robbed that noble a couple of days ago, she was a part of the crew.
What? Okay. So she's probably scamming people. I won't do anything about it.
All right. Everybody's
got their own way of making money.
Everyone in the Adventurers Guild, give me history checks.
Unexpectedly high.
Red Wolf, Aelin, you remember thinking to yourselves, wait a second. Threll's notes mentioned an ancient red dragon who is served by red kobolds. And they're extremely loyal. And Aelin, you remember Raven once saying that Zeke actually served a red dragon master.
We need to go talk to that kobold.
I'll put my drink down and stand up. Okay. If he gets at the van, I'll grab him.
Well, why don't we just go up and ask him?
He's a small thing. Small things tend to run.
Okay, get ready to catch him, but I'll ask him first. How about that?
I am ready.
As you two approach the table, and you see Zeke's like clawing some of the coins back towards himself. Maybe you no cheat, I do win this hand. And then he's ready and they begin dealing cards again. So there's a couple of people sitting around. There's about 5 people at the table playing cards. And there's 1 or 2 people standing around watching. And you two approach and begin to watch as well. What are you doing?
I'm standing to the side of Zeke, ready to use my muscles to grab him.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait for him to finish that game, and then I'm gonna say something to get his attention.
All right. You Agalia, you do notice that Aelin and Red Wolf have walked over. You notice the card game and the little. You notice Zeke sitting there. Now that your attention has been kind of pulled from them walking over, they finish, and Jala, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hang on. Yeah. Well, whatever. Pulls in all the coins. Better luck next time, everyone. Anyone want to play another hand? And Zeke is just sitting there, just like, I win money. I will win money.
I'm gonna kind of tap him on the shoulder and say, since your game is over, mind having a word with us?
He looks over at you. You want to talk to me? You play cards.
Okay, one game, and I can ask you some questions?
One question.
More than one for a game of cards.
Then go away.
Can I do persuasion on him?
Sure. What do you say?
I say, for as long as a game of cards is, it's a very short conversation if we only ask one question.
Fine, but don't distract me. Now play. And Neela looks up and goes, it's $5, 5 gold a hand.
I don't like parting with my gold, but here you go.
And now you get a better look at her.
Whoa!
Give
Give her all your coins.
Hold on one second.
Okay, maybe I'm nicer to her.
Dumb thick.
I'll sit down and
Is that a jewel?
ask them to deal.
All right.
I got you.
And
Red's just watching. She's not asking questions, so she's not gonna play.
Okay. The cards are being dealt. You have time to ask the question
okay.
with a
So
persuasion roll. Ask the question, then roll persuasion.
Okay. So Zeke, you're a red kobold, and I remember hearing that red kobolds serve red dragons. Is that correct?
He looks over you. He looks at himself up and down and looks at you and he goes, everyone knows the color of the kobold serves the color of their master. Give me a persuasion check, although he answered that one already.
Okay. Wait,
And-
wait.
All right. Then give me just a d20. All right, more cards are being placed about, and people are making bets. The pot starts to go up. 3 gold to stay in the round. Your hand looks okay. You're not sure you'd win with it, but Zeke is definitely paying attention more to the game than to you. So if you figure if you stay in, you might be able to get another question in this round.
Okay. I'll stay in.
All right, another 3 gold. Ask your question.
So this dragon, like all dragons, I'm sure he has a really large hoard of just all sorts of things. And I'm sure in all that hoard, there's some things that are more interesting than others. Do you remember seeing anything that, was a very especially unique item? Perhaps an ancient artifact of some kind?
Give me a persuasion on that one. You speak as if you know who I serve. But no. The problem with your guesstimation is that a dragon as old as my master would have one item of such significance. She has many. Countless. Incredibly powerful magic item. You will merely talk about most of her hoard.
Can I ask you another question?
As the round comes to an end, your hand is not good enough, and you lose your gold. And you see Neela reach over and take the pot. Zeke just squints more, and he's just like, again! And throws in his 5 gold.
Yeah, excuse me. Might as well.
Alright. Cards are being dealt. Ask away.
Well, with so many things that this dragon has that are, ancient artifact-like items, I'm sure she wouldn't mind, parting with an item or two if given, maybe something in trade, perhaps information or something like that. Have you ever known her to trade away a piece of her hoard?
Give me a persuasion check. He looks right at you and goes, a dragon give away some of its hoard. The item of value usually has to outweigh the item they're willing to give away. And my master is quite old, so it's quite possible she may just kill you and take it anyways. But it has come if you can persuade her. Not a necessarily easy task.
So she can be persuaded to have someone maybe even look at the hoard to see if an item was within it?
View her hoard? No. You would actually have to ask her directly about the item, and then she might tell you if she has it or not. Dragons are far cleverer than you'll ever be. You'll never know if she has the item or doesn't if she desires such a thing. Give me a normal D20.
Come on, big money, big money, big money! Yeah!
Whoa! The biggest money.
Alright, your hand is amazing. And you're pretty sure you can win this one. And the betting's going around. Are you going to raise?
Yeah.
How much?
5 gold.
Alright.
I don't actually know how to play poker. So if that's what we're doing, I hope that was a good amount.
It's fun enough for this example.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know how to poker, so can I get a pair of twos?
Alright.
Do you have any
You have time to
nines?
ask another question?
Well, I guess the last thing I would ask is, where can we find this dragon?
I am surprised you have not asked for my master's name. You do not even know who I serve, but you wish to know where they are? roll your perception check, persuasion check.
Damn it. Why didn't I think of asking for the damn dragon's name? I didn't even think the dragon had a name because I'm that stupid.
Well, if we get to the address and there's more than one dragon, then we'll be confused, but I doubt that's going to be the case.
My master lives far from here in the continent of Zaire.
And what is your master's name?
Azil,
Wait, wasn't that in the
you
note?
immediately recognize this one as from Thrall's documents.
Hey, I remembered! Woohoo! Woohoo. Let me think. Okay, that's all I'm gonna ask for now.
All right, the hand
I'm
plays
gonna
out.
focus on the card game.
You win. You get your starting gold back. You get your 5 there. You get the entire hand, and there's, hang on. You get 47 gold.
I'm gonna give 10 of that to Zeke and thank him, and then walk back to the bar.
The moment you stand up, everyone looks at you, and one of the humans goes, "No, you give us a chance to win the gold. You don't play 2 hands and leave. Sit down." And like Zeke and everyone at the table is giving you eyes. Like you ain't walking away.
Damn it! I didn't know this is how. I thought that was just how it works. It's just a hand. Okay, I'll play another one.
All right, another 5 gold. Cards are being dished out. You do have time for another question, or are you just gonna let it lie for now?
I'm gonna let it lie for now.
All right, give me a 20.
Oh God. Did that not go?
Nope.
Oh, thank goodness. That was a 2.
Oh my god. But last time, everybody at the table,
That's a
but
D12.
you, and yeah, that's a D12. The last freaking hand, everybody but you and one other person rolled a 1 on their hand, so I was just like losing my shit. Laughing.
Oh. I rolled the highest one on the D12.
Can we assume she's cheating at this point?
If you want to be
Oh my
cheating,
I don't
then
wanna
it would be a sleight of hand check.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, I'm good at that.
An opportunity for crime? Yes.
Let's fucking do this.
She gets points for trying. She's trying so hard not to murder everyone at this table right now.
Katie's head contains 7 aces.
My secret move. The
But she
unbeatable
doesn't know how to
is-
play poker though. So she's like, my secret move, the actual card that comes in the box that has the instructions on it.
This is the sparkler card.
You're
My surprise 3rd dagger. Okay.
Yes, branding on my t-shirt.
so you think you got a okay hand? You're not 100% sure. You're thinking 80, 90%, 80, 85% chance you could win with this hand. Especially since you cheated a bit. So you're gonna raise the pot. Seems to go up as it's going around. It's currently raised up to 5 gold.
I will raise it up to 6 gold.
All right. Everybody is folded except for Mila and Zeke. And everybody's looking back and forth. You, Red Wolf, give me perception checks.
Better fucking perceive if someone else is cheating.
Oh
A
shit.
perceivable.
You, Aelin, Neela, and Zeke. are all cheating in this hand. And from where you're standing, Zeke's gonna win.
Damn it!
Everybody gonna die.
And a round comes around, and Zeke, you all lay down your cards, and Zeke's like, yes! And claws up of the gold. And the guy sitting across from me is just like, you can go if you want then. Whatever.
Okay, fine. Birdman doesn't say anything. Whatever, fine. I'm done.
That was to you, though.
What was he gonna speak up?
I rolled a 20.
Everyone's cheating here. That would have ended great.
Yeah, we're not.
You could just say someone else is cheating. Oh, it's fine. Whatever. I don't need my money that I hoard and that I protect and care for.
And I think when you lose a hand in this game, you need to take a piece of clothing off.
We'll play that version later, Red. And you can invite Nyala too.
Oh, okay.
Have you gotten up, or are you playing another hand?
I've gotten up. I'm annoyed. I'm gonna walk back to the bar and have a drink.
All right. Do you guys all walk back?
Yeah.
All right. When you get back, Agalia is holding a piece of paper on it, and she goes, "This is addressed to the Bloodcats." And she kind of looks at it for a second. It's just like, hands it to you, Aelin, for obvious reasons.
Oh.
Sorry,
Sometimes I
Agalia
forget
played
she's
you a bit
important.
there, but
That's okay.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna take it and open it.
all right. You look at it. The note is from Hrothgar. It says, "Group needs a healer. Send somebody out to give me a hand." It doesn't seem like it's an emergency or anything, but
It doesn't say where. Classic Rothgar.
no, there is like no information.
But we
You
only
read
have
it
one
aloud?
healer. Yeah, I'll read it aloud.
All right.
I mean, don't we technically have 2 healers?
Well, I would go if I knew where to go. Do I just stand here and wait? Just wait for somebody to come get me?
Well, I could try to pick up his scent and find him. If you want to come with me.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Can I see the letter? Aiden?
I'll hand it over.
Alright, Jack. I need a DM call on this ability.
All right.
For aspect of the beast, I chose wolf, and it says you gain the hunting sensibilities of a wolf. I don't know if that's flavor text or if I can legitimately not have to use my pet wolf.
All right.
What do you
What's the
think?
ability called?
Aspect of the beast. It says you gain the hunting sensibilities of a wolf. You can track other creatures while traveling at a fast pace, and you can move stealthily while traveling at a normal pace.
Yeah, that would be you, not your companion. Okay. You can do that, but Agalia, you do remember some time ago that you did meet Hrothgar and his group, and they said they'd be in the area camping out mainly at that farm you had been assisting at. So you have a pretty good idea of where they are.
Yeah, we should head that way. We should head to the farm. Sniff them out over there.
I will accompany you so nothing happens to our favorite healer.
Yay!
We just have to be back in time for the trial.
Okie
Yeah,
dokie.
I will escort her towards the farm that she tells me about.
All right. Is it just you two?
I believe so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go.
All right. Red Wolf and Agalia. When you get to the gates and you're about to leave, you hear a guard from behind going, "Hey, yeah, that orc chick." And two guards come walking up. Red Wolf, and you turn around, you recognize them as two of the other guards that serve with that dwarf who gave you a warning.
Hmm.
He goes, "She ain't allowed to leave the city. You gotta stay in. You got trial tomorrow."
Yes, I know, but someone is hurt and I need to make sure my healer can get to them. I will be right back.
Nah. They make the rules. You leave. We'll count you as running.
I am sorry, Agila. I do not think I can go.
That's okay. I think I can find the way. Hopefully. 8 out of 10, I'll find the way.
If you can give me like 10 minutes, I can have my wolf accompany you and I will see through what she can see. That way, if anything
Ooh.
happens, I can send help.
Yeah, that worked.
Okay. Then I will wait near the gate but not go through it. And I will have Sheba come to me. I'll call
Alright.
her over.
Sheba comes to you.
And I will
Just
use
take her some time.
Beast Sense Ritual so that for the next hour I can concentrate and basically put my consciousness inside her.
What's the distance?
Good question.
Because if it's like the normal one, it's like 100 feet.
I don't think it doesn't have one listed that I see.
Beast Sense Ritual.
Yeah. The only range is on the cast is a touch range, and you can concentrate
Yep,
to
does
up
have
to
a
an hour.
range. Alright. So,
Okay, you have me for 1 hour.
Alright, I'm gonna head towards the farm then.
alright. You walk out of town. Takes you about 40 minutes to get to the farm. And when you get there, it's pretty obvious where Hrothgar and his group are. Because even you can feel the movement of a frost giant on the ground. And Sheba, Red Wolf, can see Jorngora in the distance. And you see, as you get closer, Jorngora is just laying on the ground. And there's what seems to be like a platform that seems to be about 15-ish feet long and 8, maybe 10 feet wide with a tiny little hut house on it that's sitting on the ground with like a fence going the whole way around it and some ropes that seem to be thrown up over it and coiled up on the inside that are tied around the top of the fence posts around each side. And as you approach, everyone, Azir, Mayhem, Atia, and Hrothgar are sitting around a campfire they seem to have made. And as you approach, Hrothgar looks over and he goes, we got people coming over. And Mayhem looks over and goes, Agalia, it's good to see you again.
Hello. You guys needed a heal.
Yep. Group needs a healer. Is it you the one Relentless sent out? You gonna start traveling with us?
I guess so.
Excellent. Alright, pack things up. We're headed north. Gonna take care of the rest of them hill giants.
How long
They've been
am I
giving
gonna
us
go?
What?
How long am I gonna be gone?
Couple of months. I need you. We need somebody to keep us up in tip-top shape.
She was going to sit down next to you, Agalia, and start whimpering.
Aw. Just break my heart. Can I like write a note for the wolf to bring back?
Yes, you can.
I can hear and understand you as if I'm
Yeah,
there.
you know Red Wolf is literally hearing this conversation.
Oh, okay.
She can't talk, but you can write a note as well if you please.
Okay. I'm gonna write a quick note. In the meantime, just continue.
All right. Everyone starts packing up and getting things together and putting out the campfire. Hrothgar walks over to Sheba, looks down at the little wolf pup, or wolf's teen, and
Teen Wolf.
He's gonna try and pick Sheba up.
Sheba's gonna growl.
Got yourself a feisty companion here.
Yeah.
She coming with us
Can't
too?
give her pet. No, she can't come.
Ah. I'm glad Relentless understood my message. I did just write send a healer.
Yeah, nobody understood it.
What?
That was the extent
But I had
of
all the
understanding.
instructions. Send healer. Our group needs a healer. He knows who we have. Nobody here knows how to heal. And like you look over and like Atia is just like, we have a bunch of healing potions.
Oh, jeez. Alright, well, I guess it's a good thing that you called for me.
We're just glad he didn't send that you over here. I know he says he can heal, but I've only seen him do it one time.
Hater.
Shots fired.
Sheba will lick your knee, Agalia, and kind of paw at your foot and sit down next to you, kind of trying to indicate that she can come with you.
Oh, shit. Okay. If she wants to come with me, she can come with me.
Yeah,
That's
I'll command her internally to keep an eye on you for the duration.
Okay.
She's not gonna go growling at me again, is she?
She
No, I
bites at the
think
air
she'll
towards
be
you.
good. Okay, maybe not.
So, Agalia, how's Red Wolf doing?
She was gonna sneak over behind him, lift a leg, and piss on his ankle.
He is quite literally gonna like foot and semi-kick it Sheba away. Hey! We're gonna have to talk about training this pup a little bit better.
Oh, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, you ready to go? You got your message ready to send off?
Yeah, we're good.
Alright. He calls over, and a farmhand comes over. Give your message to the boy, and I'll take it to the town for you. And you hand off your letter, and then you see, he goes, all right, everybody on the platform. And you see everybody walk over and hop over onto the the platform with the tiny house on it. I mean, you feel everyone do this with your blind sense and tremor sense. You walk over and get on it, and Sheba climbs up on, and he's like, hold on to the rails, and hopefully the pup will hold on too. And then you feel Jerngora reach over and pick up the entire platform, and then strap it onto the back of her backpack on her back. And then she goes, heading north for Uthgar. That's where the hill giants are. And she begins walking, with the rest of the party on the platform strapped to her back.
I will pull my consciousness back into my body at the gate of the town
Mm-hmm.
and wipe a tear from my cheek and wait for the boy and his message.
All right. He takes about 45-ish minutes to get to you. But he comes walking through the gate. You recognize him. And he's just walking past you.
I grab his shoulder.
Yes.
Give me the message, boy.
Okay. And as he's handing it to you, how did you know about this?
Because, stupid, I was there. And I take the message.
He just, looks, no, you weren't?
Yes, I was. I pissed on the dwarf.
I didn't see that, and I'm glad I didn't. Okay. And he just turns around, looking at you confused.
I march back towards the adventuring guild.
All right. You, Aelin, you've been here for about 2 hours. Relentless, it's gotten pretty late. You're probably coming back as well.
Okay.
And you show up probably about 5 minutes before Red Wolf does. And Red Wolf, you return. Giz, you're also back. You got back before even Relentless did. You got your bracelet removed from your list, and you did some snooping around and investigating.
Okay. I come up and sit between Aelin and Relentless. And I pull the letter out and set it on the bar in front of me. I have some troubling news. Agelia will not be around for a few months. And I push the letter to Relentless.
I reads the letter.
Agalia, what does your letter say?
Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm out this bitch. Fuck you.
Glad I can never see you.
Agalia. I honestly don't know if that was her or not. Alyssa.
I think she's typing something. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Seems rather sudden. Is she going by herself?
No, she has joined my father. And I have sent Sheba along to keep an eye on her.
How is she? Never mind. Okay.
Relentless is missing the beginning part of the whole message that started this scenario.
Okay. Well, as long as she's safe, and I'm sure once she catches up with Hrothgar, she'll be plenty safe. So I have no concern. I'm not concerned at all with her safety. That'd be my primary concern.
Oh yes, they are already together. I escorted her, and I was within Sheba's mind.
Relentless is gonna fold up the note and just kind of put it in his pouch.
Aww.
You shut up. It's like Relentless is gonna crumble it up and throw it across the bar. Now that that's out of the way.
I'm gonna lean over at Aelin and look back at you, who's apparently sitting at another table, like, you hear this, you? You're going to have to heal a lot more now.
You all seem fine to me.
You have full HP. Cast holy.
It is okay. Giz can pick up the slack. That little creepy thing he has running around. It can heal you.
Okay, so am I the only one that thinks that Giz's little decoy thing looks like that Pokemon that pretends to be a Pikachu?
It quite
Ditto.
literally looks just like him.
Yeah,
So-
that wasn't intended, but 1000% right.
Okay. Because that's what I, like, imagine in my head. I'm like, this little thing. No, not Ditto. There's another one that, like, even its description is, like, super depressing. I don't even know what it's called. Let me see if I can find it. It's like a new one that came out.
This is a homunculus, and I think it does approach the uncanny valley when you look at it. It's close enough to human, or humanoid, but it's not quite there, and it's very unsettling.
That's a little freaky. Yeah, what's it called?
Mimikyu.
Mimikyu, yeah. Thing is fucking terrifying looking.
What are you guys looking at?
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in the Discord real quick so you can see what I'm talking about.
Oh god.
It's a Pokemon.
Oh Jesus.
Oh
And-
gosh.
So real quick, just so we're all clear here, he's not the little creepy thing that runs around with Giz. His name is Barty.
Barty, the little creepy thing that runs around with kids.
No,
Oh, the little creepy
no,
thing that runs
that's
around
not
the kids
what I
has a
said.
name. Next, you're gonna tell me he can vote?
At 3/5 the cost.
Can any of us vote? What kind of government system do we have in this world?
I don't think I can vote. I'm a cat.
Brings up a good point.
So, water retard in a lake handing out swords is no basis for a system of government.
I disagree if the sword is magical.
So Giz, in your time away from the group, you went and had the ribbon removed from your wrist because you knew you were allowed to have that happen. And I said you went out investigating, preparing for the trial. So what did you do?
Get prepared as fuck. Looked up local law, whatever that is, and
Alright.
built a case that I don't really remember because I wasn't actually there for it. I'm gonna assume that this guy is corrupt as fuck and that he was using me as a fall man.
Alright.
And
Give
also
me
some
perception check.
perception.
Okay. Things you know. You have quite literally admitted to committing the crime. You know you told the guards about how you released a creature you didn't know what was in a noble house. You took it to the wrong location that you shouldn't have. You know you admitted that. But you do know you're being charged for all the destruction it caused in the noble area. So today you went walking through the noble area. And through all the time you checked and asked, nobody said anything got damaged. There was no damage done in the noble area. The only damage you know of happened inside one of the noble houses. You also know that the house you were supposed to deliver to is abandoned, and you don't even know if that, what the situation with that would turn to be.
Least around here. That's all I know.
Alright. And night is gonna come.
Aelin, where did that lady go you're supposed to play the naked poker with?
You look over, they're still playing cards, going back and forth.
I believe she's still playing cards over there. And... Oh wait, Red's already at the table. Damn.
She just went.
Alright. Neela, if you would like to make a proper introduction.
Yeah. But I'm not right this minute. Because I'm not ready yet.
Well,
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Well, you are hereby formally invited to play strip poker in our room this evening. Whenever you are ready.
And for real money? Real estate?
For fun. Or money,
Well,
whatever.
Alrighty. Sounds like a plan.
Zeke is just like, no, thank you. Believing the
that's
offer to be extended to him as well. And he hops off his chair and scurries away.
Like anybody wanted to see what he looked like naked anyway.
Nobody wants to see his lipstick.
Red Rocket. Grace the cloaca. More t-shirt designs coming to mind.
Alright. So you, with your new friend, head up to your room for the night.
Yes.
Red Wolf.
Hmm.
Do you just continue this in the community room?
No, I think we were going to the room to do it.
No, I mean, your room is the one all the way over I have on the right, which means everyone will be in it.
Oh. I'll leave that up to Aelin.
Wait, why am I getting dragged into this?
This was your idea.
Oh my god, you're right. I would play strip poker. Yeah, sure, we'll play in the communal room. Plenty of room.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Well, I'm not asking you, I'm asking.
Well,
Make that sound like I need to brace myself.
Not
Are
you.
you ready for this?
Not you, you.
Kura.
Galia.
Yeah, right.
Alright. You guys gather around and begin to play cards.
For those of you at home, they're currently playing Uno. All draw fours have been removed from the deck.
And replaced with little tokens from the Connect 4 game.
I'm pretty sure there's some Monopoly money involved.
It's a really, really great game. You guys should all jump on board. We call it What the Fuck Are We Doing? We don't know.
By Milton
All right.
Bradley.
I'm gonna get a cease and desist from Milton Bradley.
We were just coming up with a game called What the Fuck Are We Doing? We Don't Know.
It's called life. I wake up to it every morning.
All I know is I look away from the board for 10 seconds and my little car has like 4 of the little fuckers in it now. Asked her if she was on birth control, she said yes.
And then I smack the thing in the middle that once you hit it, it rolls your dice for you. I'm pretty sure that's trouble. Nah.
Fun getting into trouble. I hear.
That's what
You
she
guys
said
are-
right after she told me that the birth control didn't exist.
And then we played Crossfire.
You guys are playing cards.
Red Wolf doesn't know what we're doing, but she does put 1,200 gold in the pot.
All right.
She's trying to
okay,
get naked.
I'm gonna cheat this round.
I think she also takes her shirt off and puts it in the pot, not understand how turns go.
Oh, I have this too.
And I don't think there are bras in this world, so
Oh my.
just orc titties are out.
So as you guys sit down at the table, Red Wolf just places a bunch of gold coins on the table, and then takes her shirt off and places it on the table as well. Goes, stripping cards, correct?
This is way too high stakes for me. But I will return with taking my.
I'm sorry, you cut out there. What?
I'm gonna take my shirt off and put it on the table, and no goal.
So Neela has taken her shirt off, and 2 of the 3 women are topless.
I'm gonna be eyeing that gold. I'm gonna put down 5 gold because I think at this point I'm assuming that Red doesn't know what she's doing. And
It's pretty obvious.
yeah. And I'm just gonna be like, I want this gold, so I'm gonna play my 5 and not take my shirt off.
What? I hardly think that is fair.
If I lose, I'll take it off. Those are usually the rules, Red.
C'est true. These rules are stupid. You want to
How
sit
about
here and
this?
play a whole hand with getting sweaty? It's ridiculous.
If you want me to take my shirt off, you have to earn it by winning.
Okay, fine.
That
I don't
seems.
The cards are dealt.
Do we roll 20s or what?
Red Wolf, Aelin, roll me d20s. Neela, roll me your cards.
What? Okay, I'm cheating.
Too late, you already rolled.
Well, but didn't I get to roll my sleight of hand last time when I saw my hand was bad? So I did a sleight of hand to get a better hand? Yes?
This time, you have not had the time to do that.
No! That's not fair.
Gotta be quicker than that.
I should be able to cheat when I want to cheat. Damn it. How's a girl gonna win at cards like this and keep her clothes on?
How about you have more cards stored in your tits?
That's really why I don't take my shirt off.
You guys can. Aelin, you don't feel good about your hand. Red Wolf, you think it's okay. You're not entirely sure. Neela, you're pretty sure you've got a great hand. And the betting goes, and Neela wins this hand.
Ha! Auf with your shirt.
But you didn't win, Red. Remember, I said if
But
you
you
have to earn
lost.
it by winning. By
Mila
you
earned
winning.
it. She wants to see too. Show us those potatoes.
I'll take off my jacket and put it on the pile.
Takes off half a sock.
I'm getting the feeling you did not like losing.
You'd be correct in that assumption.
So, did Niall just get 1,200 gold from me?
I'm
She's like kind of confused about it, but like starts pulling it towards her, and kind of looks at Red Wolf a bit. Just like, are you sure about this? I mean, it's a moral choice for Neela to make. Do you take it all?
I'm going to take a handful of it and then just push the rest back into Red Wolf's lab. Just all the rest of it.
Right.
I don't think such a big bet is necessary.
We'll take 200 then. 205, 5 from Aelin.
And you also get Red Wolf's shirt and Aylin's
Yay.
jacket.
Yay!
I want my jacket back.
Man's not hot.
And you also get your own shirt back. And the next hand is given out. Give me D20s.
I have to buy a new damn jacket.
I'm putting 1,000 gold down.
Are you fucking kidding me? The universe wants me naked.
So, Aylin, well, do you throw any gold in, or
Yeah, I'm gonna throw 5 gold in again.
Neela, what do you throw in? Gold or more clothes?
I'm gonna put everybody's clothes back in the.
Okay. She puts her shirt, Red Wolf's shirt, and Aylin's jacket in. And Red Wolf, you win the hand, and you get all your gold back plus 5. And you also get your shirt, Neela's shirt, Aylin's jacket back. But you're eyeing Aylin because she also has to bet clothes in this hand, and she hasn't yet.
Okay, I put my shirt back in the pot for the next hand, and then I start to put the jacket on, but it's much too small. And I'm staring at Aelin like, oh, I hope it doesn't stretch.
Red, please. Not my jacket.
You
I'm
want
gonna
it back?
take off a boot and throw it on the pile.
That was your
Want to
bet
see
for the
your
hand
feet
you
go.
just lost.
That's okay. I guess I'm getting new armor later.
Alright, I'm putting this jacket on then, and it's stretching.
No!
Neela slides the boot over to Red Wolf and goes, that was the article you just lost in that hand. What are you putting up for this hand? As she begins putting out cards again.
I like the jacket, so I'm going to keep it, but I do not need these pants. I'll take those off and put them in the middle.
Alright. Red Wolf takes off her pants. I don't know if she's wearing anything underneath it.
Nah,
Oh my
So Red Wolf is
barbarian life, y'all.
just about sitting there almost completely naked except for
I have a jacket.
a jacket she's wearing that isn't covering anything because it's too small. Possibly some kind of sandals or shoes. Maybe some bracers or something else. Neela, what are you throwing into the pot this time? Aylin, what are you putting into the pot?
My other shoe.
Alright, and Neela, what are you putting in?
I accidentally deafened myself, and I have no idea what just happened.
How long have you been deafened?
Like less than a minute. That
Okay.
lasts like somewhere near the beginning of that deal. Sorry.
You know you have to put in another article of clothing for this thing.
Okay. I'm gonna put my boots in.
Right, you're gonna put both your boots in. Aylin's gonna put in
Yeah.
one of her boots. Having Red Wolf already has the other one. And Red Wolf, you're putting in what?
My pants.
Your pants, correct.
Okay.
And your shirt. Red Wolf over betting again.
Rebel starts the game naked.
Alright. Roll d20s.
I don't know how these games work.
Am I rolling a d20 or?
You're rolling cards because you're proficient.
Okay. Okay.
I'm doing it. Yes.
Okay, you wanted to sleight a hand that time?
Yeah.
Alright. Red
Yeah.
Wolf, Neela, in the tower, roll perception checks.
You guys know how to roll it in the tower?
Can I do deception? Or
Perception.
insight? Okay.
Or insight if you want that, it would also work. Okay. Aelin, you win that hand. They have not noticed you cheating.
Oh.
Bum, bum, bum.
What did I win?
You won your boot back,
Yes.
Neela's boots, Red Wolf's pants and shirt.
Wear the boots as a shirt.
Are Neela's boots the same size as mine?
No, they're a bit smaller than yours.
What the fuck? Big feet in real life, big feet in the game. Damn.
She's a little shorter than you, so.
Ugh. Whatever.
First world problems.
I'm gonna bet one of her boots.
Oh my god. Have you ever played this game before? You can't bet other people's fucking clothes that aren't on you.
Well, usually you don't bet the clothes you take off.
When you do that, Neela goes, "My boots came as a pair. Put them both up."
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
My boots came as a pair too, but I bet them one at a time. I'm gonna put the boot down.
Whose man's is this?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's like, Aylin, we need you to bet something. She takes out her knife and cuts half of her boot. She's like, I bet this half of my left boot.
Neela, what are you betting?
I guess my pants. Let's go.
Are you wearing
Bruh.
underneath?
No. No, she's stark naked right now.
All right, Red Wolf, what are you betting?
I want to get naked too. I guess I put the jacket back in there.
You do have one of the other boots, Aylin's boot.
Yeah, I'm all in, so I push all that into the spot.
Okay. Give me rolls again.
God.
Ugh.
I feel like you're rolling low intentionally.
No, you already rolled a normal d20. That sleight of hand doesn't count.
Wait, but that's
It's
why
one
I'm
or the
doing it.
it's one or the other.
One or the other? Okay, I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
I didn't catch it last time, but this time I got it.
I didn't know it was
Sneaky,
one or the
sneaky.
other.
That's because I did different rolls for the other game.
It was a true sleight of hand. IRL. She got you good, you fucker.
Yeah.
You said be fast. She was fast.
Too fast.
So
Okay,
Neela
so-
gets her boots back and gets her pants and gets Aylin's jacket and one of her boots.
I'm gonna put on the table her one boot.
Do you do it sassily?
Very.
Put it on there and then slide it forward with your pinky.
See, I was gonna offer a fair trade of a boot for a boot, but I see how it
You're
is.
just gonna lose it again.
I'm offended.
Kitty's playing this like a high school girl.
My character is
Not
not the
afraid
kind
a
of
guy's
person
gonna
to,
see her body
let
and be
me take all my
disappointed.
clothes off.
Prom is not for 7 months. Reggie can't see me now. He won't want me then.
I only did this for the gold, and I'm very disappointed.
I'm clipping that, and that is gonna be your text tone for me. I'm only doing this for the money. Oh, it needs to be clipped. Okay, let me just jot
Okay.
down that time. 1 hour and 31 minutes into the stream.
Yeah, I actually did have 1,000 gold in the pot from like 3 turns ago.
You won that hand.
No, it was after that.
You sure?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Sorry.
But what if it
No,
was
you
the
won
hand
that
I
hand,
won?
didn't you?
No, I won the first one. But I think that was it.
No, you won the second one.
Okay. Well, I'm out of clothes to use, so I will put the 1,000 gold back in.
All right. Give me your rolls.
I'm gonna look determined, look at the 1,000 gold, look up at them, take my shirt off, and put it on top.
Are you topless, or is there anything under it?
There is something under it. Because, you know, an assassin has to have a place to hide her knives.
For surprise
So-
third daggers?
Surprise their daggers. So I am wearing a bustier underneath. How
Oh.
about that?
Yep, I slide that gold.
Now we're getting into the nitty gritty titty.
Okay. I will just lose now. I was hoping that with the integrity of not doing another sleight of hand, I would have a chance.
Listen, if you're
Really,
gonna
those
play,
gold-
if you're gonna play a rogue, play a rogue. Be shiesty. It'll work in your
My
favor.
character just gonna go around in a corset and pants now?
Corset and knives going.
At least until you buy more armor, but you gotta walk out like that.
And Nyla takes your shirt and gets what her boot, the boot she bet, and pulls in Red Wolf's gold.
Damn, she's cleaning up on you guys.
I mean, she has the actual card thing as a skill. I would
And
hope she'd be the best one.
as the night continues and it gets later, Relentless, Giz, you guys finally decide that you've had enough to drink at the bar and return to the room, where you find Red Wolf, Nyla, and Aylin, all 3 of them completely naked, passing around clothes, where you notice that Aylin is wearing Nyla's boots that seem to not entirely fit her. Nyla is wearing Red Wolf's pants, and Red Wolf has officially stretched out Aylin's jacket. And they seem to be passing around, and as you guys walk in, they all just turn and look at you. And you guys keep playing?
No, I was gonna wave. Just keep playing.
Noticing everyone's mismatched clothing, you removes his cloak and offers it.
To who?
In general.
White Knight.
No, like
Like,
Not my bro.
Like, are you offering it for stripping, or are you betting your cloak? Roll for anime nosebleed, please. Relentless is
No,
just gonna
he
go to
wants
sleep.
trade.
Well, the night goes on, and eventually everyone goes to sleep, and morning comes. It's the day of the trial. Red Wolf, you wake up. You're still wearing Aylin's jacket.
Is
You
it
don't
leather,
rem-
Aelin?
Yeah, it's leather.
Nice.
Aylin, you have your brassiere back and your pants. You don't know where your shirt is, probably sitting on the table. Nyla, you have your shirt and your boots, but not your pants. And there is a pile of clothes still on the table. Since you guys were all drinking, you can't entirely remember who won what last night.
Everybody naked.
I'm gonna take my shirt and put it on.
Yeah, I'm gonna rummage through the clothes and try and find my pants. Do I find?
Yes, they're in there. You guys find your appropriate clothes and trade what you need to,
Nah.
except
Oh.
Red Wolf still has the jacket on.
I'm not gonna deal with that. I'm gonna go down to the bar and get some food for this massive hang.
So I feel like the jacket on me doesn't cover my midriff at all. It's like
It-
right under
it
my
does-
armpits is where it stops.
Yeah, it does not. Your tits are still out in all their glory.
Do you want your jacket back, Aelin?
It's okay, Red. You can keep it. It's about time I bought a new one anyway.
Oh,
That's fine. She tries to make it fit as best she can, but can't get it to latch.
Somebody's about to lose an eye.
Like, over here just twitching. Like, my jacket. My poor jacket.
Mm-mm.
You can have it back.
You mean Red Wolf's jacket?
Maximum read.
I guess I learned that I should never play cards.
You should never not cheat at cards, is what you learned.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, her offer stands. If you want it back, you have to take it off of her.
I'll sigh, walk over, and say, okay, let's see how badly it's stretched, and I'll try and put it on.
You mean try and take it off? She's being playful. It's a game. So you'll
I'm
need to
gonna
do-
roll for acrobatics and tussle with her and get my jacket off, but gracefully.
Okay. You did it.
Not in a mean way, just like in a, aha, okay, this is mine now, thank you.
You
what's
have
the
very
lowest?
fast hands, Aelin.
Not fast enough, apparently, to win at cards.
I don't think I can go to court like this. I better consult Giz on what I should wear.
Where is everyone, anyway?
Nala went down to the bar for food to cure her hangover.
I'm gonna go get some breakfast, too.
Breakfast?
I would like to roll stealth to sneak
Or-
up on Relentless.
Relentless, are you still asleep?
Yeah.
You succeed.
Alright. I pounce on him.
Relentless, you are awoken abruptly by somebody jumping on top of you.
Relentless wakes up and goes straight for the throat.
Oh shit.
PTSD, man. You can't be just jumping on me like that.
You attacking or going for a grapple?
Going for a grapple.
All right, both of you roll athletics.
Ugh, man, I'm just not myself today.
Oh, what is Fantasy Grounds doing? No, what are you saying not responding for?
He loses by default.
No! Alright, come on, game. Come back to me. Oh, there we go. Athletics. Boom! Big Shack!
Damn.
So, what you're seeing at this point is Relentless gets up and grabs Red Wolf by the throat and just kind of like stands up out of bed, still trying to wipe like the fuzz away from his eyes because he just woke up. You know how cats have like that layer, that weird layer?
Sure.
He's kind of got that going on, so you can't see who he chokes. He just knows he's got a hold of him. And as he realizes and the film kind of goes away that he's holding up Red Wolf, he looks at her face and sees that she's actually enjoying it and puts her down and just kind of dusts himself off.
Good morning.
You really can't do that.
Apparently not. I'm on a hot losing streak. I hope it breaks before my trial.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Relentless comes up and just gives her a pat on the back. Is she wearing clothes?
Nope.
Well, I'm happy that my accuracy was good enough to grab you by the neck. Just throw you across the room by your left tit. Oh man, look at how it went so bad. Okay.
Do you need help picking something out to look nice in court?
I think I'm not too big on fashion myself. I mean, he kind of like gestures to himself, like wearing these two bands and some shorts. That's pretty much it.
Yes, I am with you. I like that style. It's very not restrictive. Move around.
But I'm sure you could probably get some tips walking around the town and maybe some of the finer parts of the town and see what people are wearing.
She turns around and starts walking towards the door.
Assuming
you mean...
You need clothes. You need clothes now.
Yes, I know, but which ones? This is the dilemma. Do you not understand?
Relentless goes over to the bed and pulls off one of the... do these beds have sheets? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, Relentless, he's with his monk training, he's used sheets as togas before, so he's going to go ahead and grab one of those sheets in there and kind of wrap it around Red in a style that actually looks, well, matter of fact, I'll do a performance check to show you see how good it is. And pretty much going to fashion it to a nice toga where it wraps around her neck, or this is the attempt. He's going to wrap the sheet around her neck and across both of her breasts. Down around her ankle, or down around her waist, he's going to use a one of the seams from the covers on the bed and act as a belt to kind of bring in her waist a little bit, so it looks a little loose on top but form-fitting right at the waist to accentuate her curves. And then bring the sheet down close to her legs so there's like a slit going down the middle, but it still covers the inside of her legs to a degree. So it's like there's a little bit of sexiness there, but not a whole lot. But we just have to do something about her shoes. So I'm going to go ahead and roll a performance for that. So it pretty much looks like a long dress with a slit.
Good.
Dude, I got faith. That's a lot of faith. That's good.
I'm just glad that you as a player bought into this hard.
I am.
This is great.
110%, man.
You put it all up on her and step back, and you're just like, that looks great. And then the whole sheet falls off. The whole sheet falls off and just falls to the floor, and she's naked again.
Can I roll athletics?
Yeah, give me an athletics roll this time.
It's going to be tight.
Wait, what does that mean?
So this time, when he does it, he like grabs you and like really forces it onto you and like ties the belt like really tight and like a little tight around the neck, and you have to loosen it up to breathe a little and loosen it. But he's got it on in the way he wants. Albeit it's a bit more form-fitting, pressed up. Unlike your normal top that you wear, it's a bit thicker. This is just a sheet. So when you step back, Relentless, you can see Red Wolf's nipples looking right at you.
Through it?
You can see a bit of the shade and a bit of a bump from the top of the nipple.
I'm alright with that.
Free the nipple.
I'm alright. Hashtag free the nipple in chat. Oh man, that's too good.
All right, you guys go down into the Adventurers League dining area where everyone else is eating breakfast. And as you guys eat breakfast and get ready, 2 guards show up. 2 you haven't really seen before. And they walk up to Giz and Red Wolf and they go, "Are you ready for your trial? Starts in an hour or so. We're sent here to come and gather you so you could get to the courthouse and prepare."
Can you not see how I am dressed? Of course I am ready. Look how stately I look.
Both guards look at you and their faces go red. And they're just like, "You are very ready, miss."
Their faces are red with jealousy. Are you ready for your trial, Giz?
I think so.
Then let us do it.
Who is going to the trial?
I will spectate.
Same.
Before anybody leaves, I'm gonna slide over here and whisper to Aelin that I've just remembered I don't have my pants.
Aelin, you do realize you actually have Nyla's pants
Whose man's is this?
that are kind of like sticking a bit out of your bag and you don't remember putting them in there.
I'm gonna kind of do a double take of my bag and reach over and say, "Are these your pants?"
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Seems we had a bit wilder of a night than I had planned. I hope you had fun.
It was a lot of fun.
If you're not doing anything today, I'm going to the courtroom to see my friends on trial. And knowing them, it should be very interesting if you want to tag along.
For
Yeah,
those,
that sounds fun.
for those of you that are curious about what I was going for, as far as the dress, I found an image, the closest thing I could find.
Actually, that's pretty much what I pictured.
Good.
Good job.
Yeah.
Great fashion.
I'm ready to be executed, Jack. Take me there.
Alright, so we got Aelin, Nyla, you, Relentless, you're all going to view it.
Windows updates.
And the Windows
That sounds
update.
a reminder, Aelin, for my special secret mission to you earlier. Okay, don't forget.
I forgot.
How could you forget?
Damn it! Ah.
And you guys head off to the courthouse. You get there. You see the dwarf, who I don't know if I ever gave a name to. Oh yeah, I did give him one. You see the dwarf and two of his 4 guards with him, knowing that the other 2 are probably still in use. Bag of holding. Because you has not told me he's disposed of them, so.
Hmm.
Let's
Aelin,
fly double.
you also, special
Oh,
thanks
God.
to Giz, working with the Orbital Axe, the magic from that bag of holding you had has been transferred to the jar. And now you have a tiny jar that you have strapped to your hip that's green, and the Orbital Axe is inside of it, but is actually much larger on the inside. But the cap is not on, because the Orbital Axe can come out and come go, and you can feel that there is like it goes up, no, it doesn't weigh you down anymore, but you can feel that it's semi on your body, keeping itself hidden,
Mm-hmm.
and mainly so it can go up, and if it needs to, basically speak into your.
Cool.
But it is
Well,
there.
that's convenient.
That was the idea.
So you totally has a guard body and an inquisitor body.
No, 2 guards. And you didn't take the Inquisitor body, did you?
I
Oh,
think
you
we
have
did.
the. No, you did. You have the body, but not the head.
Correct.
Because Aelin had to take the head. Yeah. So, yes, you have 3 bodies.
Wait, I thought she just took the face.
Oh, she did take the face. That's
The
right.
particulars of
Because
the-
I'm a considerate killer and I left the eyeballs for you to have.
Yeah, so you have the body without a face on it.
I've updated my item for Inquisitor Grab.
Alright. So you see the 3 guards, the dwarf guard, the 2 human guards. The dwarf, as you know him as Hodgrak. And you get ushered into a courtroom, which I never found a decent map for, unfortunately. So I don't really have one for you guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay, we can use Theater of the Mind.
So when you
We'll
come
see
in, you walk down the aisle, and there's a couple of pews worth of seats, about 8 on each side that are pretty long, with enough room for quite a few people to sit side by side. As you're walked in, the guards here are dressed differently from the town's city guards. They don't have shields on them, and they all have pikes and short swords on their hips, and their dress seems to be a bit more formal. And there's 2 at the door you came in from, and one standing up near where the judge is, and then there's 2 on the far ends of the room as well. And you guys come up, and the one that's leading you points over, and he's like, "Your friends can sit here and observe." And then he opens it up, and you are seated at a table on the right side. And as you sit down, Giz, Red Wolf, you're sat next to the half-orc, Rashawar. And she looks over and like smiles at you guys a bit. Happily. She's like, "I hope you can win this." And then Hydrock and his 2 guards sit at the other one. And then the inspector that you saw, that Red Wolf, Aelin and Relentless, you guys saw this guy harassing Russia War a bit about losing her place, and Red Wolf and Giz, you know of him from what she's told you, comes in and sits down at their side as well. And then the judge enters from behind a door you can't really see and sits up at the stand. And Red Wolf, you recognize him by his alias, Turd Ferguson.
Oh shit!
And the guard comes up and he goes, Judge Hunt Lawton, proceeding to order. And he looks around and he goes, everybody take your seats. He looks over and spots you, Red Wolf, and he winks to you. Like, aha! And then he, realizes where he is, and he's just like, oh, great.
I do, a little pose that shows off my shapely figure in these weird ropes.
He smiles. He tries to hide a bit of a smile, and he's like, we're here today because, from what these papers say, let me spit out the gum I'm chewing. No, sorry. We're here today because the court has found these 3 individuals have released a displacer's beast in the Noble Quadrant, causing quite a lot of damage. And they must pay their fines, the damage committed, and for trafficking in exotic beasts that are not allowed in here. How do you plead? And he looks at Giz.
Not guilty.
Not guilty? Okay. Proceedings will begin. I don't know anything about actual law and criminality.
Does the judge say that in game?
No, I'm saying
Okay.
this. The DM. The DM is saying the judge.
Opening statements. I don't know why I'm here. I heard there was free hors d'oeuvres.
Why do I have this gavel? What does it do?
Submit your potluck dinners for competition.
I'm here for the weekly raffle. Oh, geez.
Okay.
Why don't we have Giz plead his case and we'll go from there.
So Giz,
Yeah.
give your opening statement.
Well, Your Honor, you state that there was quite substantial damage to the quarter, but I went there already multiple times, and I do have an eye for damage and crafting. I am an artificer. I saw no damage there whatsoever, let alone 1,000 gold worth of damage, which was what the officer at the scene accused us of doing and required us to pay back. You also state that we were
He looks at you and he goes, the official record says damage is 14,000 gold.
Well, that's a lot
And
more
that
than the...
each individual was charged 1,000, with the owner of the shop being charged all that would remain after that.
I see. Well, my other case in point, other than the fact that this damage does not seem to have actually occurred, is the fact that you accused me of trafficking in beasts. Now, if I was trafficking with an illegal beast, why would we have let it go? We weren't trafficking anything. We were simply contracted by the shop's owner to take a crate which we were not made aware of the contents of from point A to point B, which, admittedly, we may not have gotten to the right point B, but at the same time, we were nothing but contractors in this situation. We actually created no specific wrongdoing, and in fact, our mistake is the only reason that this error was uncovered in the first place.
Rasho War's looking at you, going, I didn't know what was in the box, dumbass.
What?
Rasho War's like signaling to you to remind you that she didn't even know what was in the box.
You know, the shop owner wasn't even aware. She was also contracted out by, I'm sure I know this information, but I personally don't know this information.
All she has on that is that just like labeled as dresses, like no individuals.
I would like to submit said label into evidence.
Okay.
But as you can see, Your Honor, there is no true case here. It's a he said, she said situation, circumstantial at best.
Is that your opening statement?
Yeah.
Thank you. Prosecution? The inspector looks over at the dwarf guard, and he looks at him and he's like, well, this is yours. And the dwarf stands up. He's like, Your Honor, we merely do our job, much like they say they were doing their job. They released a beast, which they admitted to, onto the nobles. They didn't even know what was inside of it, and yet they let it go free. I understand making a wrong delivery. It happens, even if they didn't know it was an exotic animal. But they knowingly released it upon people, and upon the nobles, destroying the inside of one of the houses, releasing it out onto the public, where it caused much damage.
Objection!
It wounded few of my guards. The judge just like puts his hand up and he's like, allow him to finish.
Okay.
Where it wounded several of my guards while we had to take it down. So these fines are, I believe, justified. If not more so. And he sits down and he's like, alright, who would like to call the first witness? He looks at you, Giz, and is looking over at the other side.
I allow the prosecution to call the first witness.
Okay. Prosecution calls Rashawar, the half-orc owner of Rashawar's pet shop, to the stand. And she gets up, and she like looks at you, Giz, and she's like, "What should I do?"
Well, I mean, you've been called to the stand, so you have to go up there and tell the truth.
Okay, tell the truth. Tell the truth. And she walks off. And she goes up there, and it's up there, and he goes, so you're telling me you just got this package delivered to you? Yes. You didn't even ask what was in it? She's like, no. I was just given a lot of money to make it go, so I didn't think about it. You didn't even question it. That it could have been illegal? She looks down, she's like, no. And what of these addresses? And he's like, well, you have the documents here. These are exactly what they gave me. And like when the documents are handed to the judge and he's just like, these are just like pickup dates and locations. They have no information on names. And then he looks over at one of the guards, bailiff. He goes, find out which nobles have these addresses. And he's like, yes, Your Honor. And he walks away and the door's like, and you have no idea who brought any of this stuff? And she's like, no. And he's like, I'm done with questioning. The judge looks over and he's like, Defense, cross-examination, if you would like, or would you turn down such a thing?
I'm gonna have to turn it down because there was a lot of people yelling right around me while you were talking, and I missed about half of it. I don't want to ask the same exact questions that just got answered.
All right.
The defense has no questions for this.
All right. From what you gathered from what he asked, because you said you did miss some of it.
Yeah, I missed a lot of it because people were yelling around me.
He asked her about what was in the crate, and she gave the truth about how she doesn't know what's in it. And then he asked her about, like, not knowing who the contract is, and she pointed over to the evidence you had brought and turned in, and the judge noted that there was indeed proof of whoever gave that to her, but it did have the address on it, and the judge asked the bailiff to find out who had these properties, and then the door stopped asking questions.
Okay. Okay. So we've established, nothing really damning to my case in that, so I guess I don't really have any further questions. I don't have to defend myself here. I actually do have, I do have one question that I would like to ask the pet shop owner.
Proceed.
Have you had any dealings with this officer prior to this incident?
I have not.
Okay. Have you had any dealings with any of the officers? Not this specific one. I apologize, Your Honor. Misty.
I have not.
All right. That is all I needed to know. Thank you for being so kind. I'm so sorry for taking your pet to the wrong displacer.
She just gives a smile. Judge Lawton goes, "You may take your seat again."
Bye.
Next witness to call prosecution. They're like, yes. We would, he points over to one of his guards. He's like, I'd like to call my fellow guardsmen that were with me on duty, one after the other. So he calls up the first one, and he asks him basically about the damage and how hard it was to fight the Displacer Beast. And he gives a pretty damning statement about all the damage he saw, how it tore up the inside of that one noble's house, how it tore down the street and injured several guards in their attempt to take it down.
Objection.
Yes?
Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. Yeah, this is the guard talking, not the actual prosecution. Never mind.
Yeah. And then he brings up his the other guard and basically has him just restate everything and basically double down on that story.
Okay.
Do you want to question either of the guards?
Yes.
Okay. The first guard's in there.
So you state that there was a large amount of damage done to a noble's house where the Displacer Beast was released, correct?
Correct. Saw it myself.
Okay, and what's the noble's name?
I don't know. I just guard the streets. I don't know who lives at that house.
Oh, so you investigated it and you investigated damaged property, but didn't bother to figure out whose property was damaged.
No, that wasn't my job.
Oh,
No.
who's? Let me know.
My
Whose
job was
job
to
is
take
that?
down the displacer beast.
Whose job is it?
He looks past you and looks over at the inspector. He goes, well, the inspector's job.
Oh, okay. All right. And I want to call up the second guard and ask him the same question. What noble was it whose house was damaged?
He looks over and he goes, some duke lives a couple of days away, sometimes spends some time in that house there. Can't remember his name. Something Boulder, maybe? I don't really remember.
Out of character, Jack, you did say when I was investigating around, I found that house was abandoned and not in use.
No.
Right?
The original house that you were supposed to take it to was abandoned. The house that you released the displacer beast in was not. And that's the house he's talking about.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood when we were talking earlier then.
Yeah.
Well, Your Honor, it turns out that those questions were completely worthless.
Kiss. I
Yeah.
have a question.
Yep.
I'm gonna whisper to him. If the Duke is out of town, then who reported the damage?
It's a very good point.
Who filed the complaint is what I want.
All right.
You would remember the butler that was in the house when you released the displacer beast?
Oh, yeah, I was going to kill that guy. I didn't say that in character, by the way.
No. We'll keep that on the down low.
All right. Prosecution is going to call up their final witness to the stand. The butler comes in and takes the stand. He's like, so, tell me exactly what happened that day. And he basically lays out, Red Wolf, exactly what happened. How you came to the house. He didn't want to let you in. You guys kind of forced your way in. And then when you were in, he said you're probably at the wrong place, and you were talking about how there were displacer kittens there. And when he mentions those, you see the dwarf kind of just like looking a bit like away and down. Not really. And then he talks about how you guys clearly didn't know what was in it. He does confirm that story for you. But then he talks about how you just released it in the house, and it immediately went and tore down a door, destroyed the hallway it ran down, and started tearing up more stuff when he lost sight of it, he just got the rest of the servants, and they got out of the house and ran away while he called for more guards. And he lays off his story, and then the prosecution goes, that's us for questioning.
All right.
Would you like to question?
Yes. So my first witness I would like to call to the stand is Relentless. Are you in the audience?
I am. What's up?
I would like to call Relentless.
You're not questioning the butler.
Oh, no. I mean, his testimony, from what I heard, was factual. Displacer beasts in the bedroom, didn't know what was in it, released it without actually checking anything or really any knowledge of what was in the case on our end either.
Yeah. All right.
No, Your Honor.
Could I cross-examine him? Just for a minute?
Yeah, sure. She's part of my legal counsel team. Go ahead.
I will just put the questions to you, and then you could ask.
Oh.
But, the butler, he saw me talking with the beast inside, so he could attest that we were doing it to find her babies, which were also probably illegally in that house.
Oh yeah.
He did mention that in his testify. That
Oh, okay.
you were seeming to talk to it, but you didn't know what it was, and he does mention that it was looking for its children.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up when I called you second, Red Wolf.
Alright, so you're not going to question him?
You could ask him why the cubs were in there.
That's a good point. Yeah, so, real quick, why did you have those cubs?
What cubs?
The Displacer Beast cubs, which you stated were in the house.
We had no such thing in the house.
But I thought you just said that in your testimony, that you did.
I said you were searching for such things. I never said we had such things in the house. Give me an insight check. He's lying to you.
You had no such Displacer kittens in the house.
Of course not. Those creatures are illegal. They wouldn't be allowed there. Our Duke would never do such a thing. Plus, he hasn't come to the town in 10 months. And he doesn't plan on visiting anytime soon.
I see. I would like to... I am done with questioning, Your Honor, but I would ask that if the bailiff would be able to find an extra witness for me to call at a later date.
And who would this witness be?
I need an expert on the beasts of the area, specifically one that knows about Displacer beasts.
You hear behind you. I'm sitting right here.
Oh, excellent! You'll be my third witness, so be ready for that.
And Rashawar is just like, I was already questioned, but okay.
Oh, yep, you're going to be now. I didn't expect you to be an expert on Displacer beasts, considering you own a pet shop, but okay.
She just looks at you when you say that with slim eyes. She's like, didn't even pay attention to all my.
You're right, I did. So, my first witness will be Relentless Knight.
Okay.
Relentless will get up and take the stand.
Hello, Mr. Relentless. How are you doing today? So, the first question I have for you is to let us know some of your achievements that you've made of the area in the area. You know,
you hear objection. What's the point of this?
To establish character.
Sustained. Go ahead.
Well, me and my group have been known to do a lot of the odds and ends in town that adventure duties, deliveries, as we've said before, protection in some cases, different types of jobs, and we've established a decent bit of clout within the community and are pretty well known for getting the job done.
Have you failed any of these missions, or do you have a completely clear set of accomplishments?
There are a couple missions that have gone awry, but not necessarily failure due to our abilities. There's usually some other variable that comes into place, or something that we find out later that wasn't brought to our attention immediately.
And you are a monk in good standing with your religious order?
Yes, I am.
Alright, so we now establish that Relentless Knight is a holy man, a man of the cloth, and thus can be trusted in a court of law. So, my first question to you is, out of any of the authority figures or constabulary that have been shown today in this courtroom, do you have any experience with any of them?
I do recognize some of the ones that are here.
Okay, could you please point to them?
and I point to the guards that I saw inside the house where the kittens were that one night.
Okay.
The 2 guards that are dead and in used bag. Because you
Did we
didn't
kill
see
them?
any of... Yeah.
You guys are the worst.
They look the same.
They all
all
look
look
alike.
the
They're all wearing the same armor. Yeah, then I reject that statement. We're gonna go ahead and plead the 5th on that one. 5th.
Didn't you get detained by some guard?
All right. You didn't. I thought you saw the inspector.
Don't recall seeing the inspector.
You did see him at the station, but... I mean, you don't know him.
Right.
All right. Out of character, real quick, Jack. Who was the one that Relentless told us about that said they were framing the pet shop owner?
They never said they were framing her.
They alluded to it.
They said they were going to take everything from her. They don't need to frame her. There's clear evidence that what you did happened.
Okay.
The living ones, we did observe them, like, talking to the pet shop owner, because I think we rolled like a pretty high stealth the one time, and we overheard them pretty much telling her that we're gonna take all your shit if you don't pay us this money.
Yeah, but they didn't say it like straight up, we're robbing you. They basically were just like, you'll have to pay us with your shop for the damages.
That's extortion.
Yeah, it is. Is that what you would like to tell them?
Yes.
Well, I mean, like, you weren't saying it directly.
Well, to be fair, none of the people in this room are actual lawyers.
I know.
It's like, hold on, let me bring out Relentless Knight. He's from the hood. Hey, yo, that bitch is lying.
All right, how would you like to describe or say that they're trying to extort her?
Pointing out the fact that although the what was done, was, in fact what happened with the whole mishap of the delivery and everything else, but on top of everything else, we overheard the guards mentioning it to her that they were going to take everything from her without even any proceedings or anything being done to begin with. There was no court order, which is why we're here now to discuss the actual repercussions of what would actually happen. They just automatically made the assumption that they were going to take everything that she had.
So it was guilty, not proven innocent then.
Well, I'd say right now, we've already established that the delivery has been, there was a mishap that happened with the delivery. But without the guards actually having any sort of proof for the actual, people that are committing it, I feel this is kind of for them to be able to go to her and make those, assumptions that they were going to essentially take a lot of the money in her shop was going to be the only way that she was going to be able to pay for it was pretty much extortion. There's no way for them to have known that without actually coming into a proceeding in a court of law. To make that judgment.
Thank you for answering the question.
All right.
And then the defense is going to ask some questions. Or you still got more?
No, I don't have another question for Relentless.
Relentless goes and takes his seat.
Well, you got to get cross-examined first.
Are they going to cross-examine me?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to roll athletics.
Flip this podium.
What you know about me? What you know about me?
So the dwarf comes up and he looks at you and he goes, "What you describe as extortion? Those are the fines we placed on her and your friends for the damages called to the Noble Quadrant. We knew she didn't have the gold to pay for them, and her shop was going to be collateral to pay for it. That is a simple matter to take care of such thing. Is it not? If you did such damages and you did not have the means to repay it, would you not have to give up several of your things as collateral to pay?
Objection. The guilt of the situation had not yet been determined because the defendant had not yet been to court. So the very accusation in itself is an accusatory statement.
Please. We know of the crimes you committed. This is merely just to decide how you're going to pay for it. You may leave the stand.
Relentless gets up and you hear the wood creaking from his big ass being in it.
Your next witness?
My next witness is the shop owner again.
Alright. So she sits back down. Hello.
Hello. So, now I know that, you do not normally have any, or you do not normally, work with Displacer Beasts, but tell me, are you knowledgeable about them?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I can raise anything. I know quite a lot about them and several other beasts that are not allowed in this area. I've worked several areas where they have allowed, so I have worked with them before.
Alright. So, I do have a question for you about Displacer Beast, if you don't mind. Their senses. Could you describe the senses which they have, including both the accuracy of their senses, the scope of their senses, and any specials they have, such as psionic?
Well, for anybody who basically needs a basic understanding of them, they're essentially just giant cats. They have excellent hearing, smell, and tracking abilities. So, it's not hard for them to find something they're looking for. They're excellent hunters, and despite being a beast-like creature, they are surprisingly more intelligent, obviously. They have the ability to blend into their surroundings and avoid normal sight. And they are, like I said, quite intelligent hunters.
All right. Would you, if you were describing the sensory information of a Displacer Beast, let's say a female Displacer Beast with cubs which has lost those cubs, would you say that their senses were very accurate or more quite fallible?
Oh, extremely accurate. Like any mother searching for her child, especially among beasts like that, she would know each of their individual scents and be able to track them for several miles.
So you would say that a Displacer Beast which stated that her cubs were in a specific area is very much likely to be correct about that.
Of course, she would know exactly where they are.
Okay, no
or
further
at least
questions.
able to follow their scent to their exact location.
Copy that. No further questions.
The prosecution has no questions.
And all right. So my final, or not final, sorry, my next witness is Red Wolf, a member of our party.
She turns and waves and walks up to the stand and lays a finger on Jared Ferguson's hand. and smiles at him.
He smiles back.
I am ready.
All right, Red. So, if you don't mind, Red, we have clearly established with the butler's testimony that you had a conversation with the displacer bee. Would you please regale us as to the contents of that conversation?
Certainly. As we were delivering the package, she began to call out to me. I used a ritual spell to understand her, and she was in distress. She had lost her kittens, and told us that the address we were heading toward was not where they were, and asked for help in getting there, so we took her there. And that is where we encountered the butler, who also attested to me speaking with her. And he seemed like he was hiding something, so in order to alleviate her distress, we released her so she could find them.
So, the act of releasing her was not a malicious act, but in fact an act of philanthropy and mercy.
Yes, I would say so.
Good to know, good to know. And while you were discussing the location of this poor mother's lost children, how certain was she that they were in the immediate vicinity?
Oh, she was quite certain. And in point of fact, a few days later, when we traveled to that location to investigate, we found 2 of the kittens.
Oh wow, that's very interesting, because according to one of our other witnesses, there were no such kittens, so it's strange that we found them.
It is odd how people will sometimes lie to cover things up.
That is very odd, especially when, according to some, there was very little wrongdoing on their part.
Objection! What is the point of this continued dialogue?
Mostly jokes. No further
Get to the
questions.
point. Defense, or your questioning ends.
Funny you say that,
Unfortunately,
because I
jokes
have no
aren't
further
allowed.
questions.
Okay. Prosecution. The dwarf walks up and looks at you, Red Wolf, and goes, "Can you describe the cage the beast was in? How big it was?"
It was almost as big as me.
And what did you believe was inside of it?
I did not know. A distressed mother.
You had no assumptions? This box was as big as you, and you couldn't possibly think of anything that could be inside of it?
Well, I know from someone of your stature that might be frightening, but from where I was standing, whatever was inside would be manageable.
Ah. But I know the actual size of the box. It wasn't just as big as you. This box was 10 feet tall, 10 feet wide, 10 feet long. That was a large box you were taking around that could not be seen inside of, as I understand it. Did you have a perception of how large the creature was?
No.
And it told you it wanted its kittens a mother. Your job was merely to deliver it, yes? You had done other deliveries for that day? Had you talked to any of the other beasts you delivered?
None of the other ones seemed to be distressed.
Why didn't you ask them? Maybe they weren't telling you. They were hiding it. Did you ever think of that?
I don't see how it's relevant to this case.
I just wanted to know if you care about every random beast you run into.
No. Some you must hunt and kill to eat and sustain your life. But when an intelligent one reaches out, a cry for help, it is only right to answer.
So, you released the beast not knowing what was inside of it, not knowing the damage, harm it could create.
I was only concerned with the damage it was suffering from being separated from its children.
You didn't care about the people of this town, this city. Not worried about what untold damage it could cause upon its release.
This was no concern to me, only reuniting it with its children.
Oh, so when you released it, you helped it find its children?
I did not need to. The only thing it asked of me was to release it, and it would find them.
So when you released it, what did you do?
I sent it on its merry way, and I on mine.
So you just left it go through and attack anyone it ran into while it looked for its kittens. And as the pet shop owner said, they are incredibly intelligent hunters. And you just let it go in a populated area full of people.
There was no one around when she escaped. The butler was running for his life. The scent of urine in the air.
Oh, so what? It was going to merely just stay in the house. But as we know, it didn't stay in the house.
Do we know that?
We do. As my guards have testified to, we got onto the streets where we took care of it.
And where are all these injured people?
Exactly.
They've
Why
been
didn't
healed by now. This incident was more than a week ago.
And they were not available to testify?
They chose not to.
That seems very convenient.
We have the testament of guards who were on the scene.
Are these the same guards that are in your pocket?
Ah, saying that I pay them. Ah, ensuing that I'm corrupt. These guards work under me. I am their commander. So I guess in a way, yes, what you say is true.
Well, if you are done admitting to your own corruption, I think we are wrapped up here, are we not?
Oh, I'd just like to ask one more question. You said you found the kittens in the basement of that home, correct? When was
Did
that?
not. It sounds like you knew they were in the basement, because I never said where I found them.
You did say they were in the basement of that home.
I don't think so.
What did you say then?
I found them in the home.
Oh, you found them in the home then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You said, sorry, I thought you mentioned the basement. You found them in the home. But you say you didn't help the mother look for them and you left. So you came back to the house at a later date to find those kittens in the home?
The shop owner was rather distressed after your men tried to shake her down, and she asked us to find them. So we did. And the first place we
Oh.
started was where we released the beast.
So you broke back into the home. From what I understand, from what I know, they wouldn't just let you back in. The house has been locked down with all the damage done to it. So you just went back in?
I don't remember, out of character, how we got in.
Neither do I.
You guys,
I think the gate was
Caitlin
open.
picked the lock.
Yeah, that sounds like us. That checks out.
I think the butler, in his haste to flee, probably left the door unlocked.
Oh, and you thought you were just welcomed back in.
Well, You had already threatened me and my associate here, Giz. So we needed to collect evidence on our behalf for this trial.
Threatened? I merely gave you a fine you had to pay before you could leave. Adventurers like you always try and skip town after.
You also tied a magical ribbon around his hand and said if he leaves the city, it would sever it from his body.
Of course. What if he tried to leave without paying his fine?
Indeed.
Yeah,
So,
that does.
you found the kittens. What did you do with them?
I'm wondering what you were doing with the displacer piece you say you caught. Why is it not here on display?
The judge goes, witness cannot interrogate prosecution. Witness
Well, as I
must
said-
answer the questions.
The shop owner asked for them, we took them back to her.
So you gave them to her, and he just looks over at her. Do you know what she did with them?
Why would I? I did not run a shop.
I am done with my questioning. And he's just like, it's obvious he's staring at the shop owner.
Yeah, okay.
Gives any more witnesses?
I'm trying to think.
Call the kittens to the stand.
Well, I tell you, Your Honor, who I'd really like to call to the stand, the Displacer Beast, but apparently that's not on the cards because these inspectors and guards seem to just do whatever they would like. So I guess I have no more witnesses which are available.
The guard stands up, the door stands up and goes, she was tearing up the noble section. She had to be put down.
Well, that's unfortunate. So,
Exasperated gas.
what? You know, I'm not even gonna get into the tearing up the noble section thing, because, yeah, it's fine over there. Just take a walk and you'd see that. And because of that, I have no further questions.
Alright. Closing statements then?
I went first last time, so the prosecution can go first.
The prosecution comes up and he goes, Your Honor, these adventurers, like so many others, come into our city, cause problems, and just run away and refuse to admit the things they've done, or accuse the guards, us, of corruption. Such things are never proven true. And he looks over at you, and he goes, the inspector approved the fines after looking over the damages in the noble quadrant. We enforced his will. He is our higher up. We are here because they say there was no damage. There was definitely damage. We have proven it. The guards that were hurt, we know of. Damage done in the noble's house as well. And what proof do they have? That they found the displacer kittens and what? Gave them to the shop owner? And what has she done with them now? Can't call her up and ask her again, unfortunately.
Well, technically you could. You just don't want to. That's okay, though.
No, I think in real law you're only allowed to question a person like one time. You can't keep bringing them up. So I'm not going to do that so we don't go in circles. She does speak up and she goes, I had them sent off to a safe place. And he just looks over and he's just like, and the fine still stands. The damage they have clearly done, they must pay, or so many adventurers will realize they can come into our city, do the damage they want, and just leave. We rest.
Out of character before my closing statement, Jack. So we cleaned up the crypt in this town, right?
Yep.
At whose behest was that?
The priestess of the temple.
Okay, and that was in the city limits, right?
Yep.
Okay. Give me, like, 10 seconds.
While he's preparing his final statements, Red is giving the eyes to Turd Ferguson.
Nice. I feel like Red lacks in a lot of social graces, so like she tries to wink and be all sensual, and she's actually like blinking super hard.
I get a +1 to winks when I'm wearing this toga you made.
Nice. Glad the toga worked out. I'm glad you ran into Ferguson, man.
Oh, wow. That was muted. You get a +1 to winks all the time, baby.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
Well, Your Honor, the prosecution states that the adventurers within our group do not like to admit to our own fault, but in fact, I believe my very first statements here were to admit to exactly the mistake that we had made. I also remember him saying something along the lines that we do not like to clean up messes. Oh, that's strange because you can just check with almost anybody that over at the temple to know that we went out of our way and almost died. In fact, if you need to know, I think I died 3 times cleaning up the mausoleum in this very town. A mausoleum that I do notice doesn't look like it had been cleared out by the guards anytime recently. Perhaps they prefer to pay their debts in the gold and the blood of those who cannot help them help themselves versus their own blood being shed for the weak and the innocent. The fact of the matter is that our story is easily corroborated. I mean, at the drop of a hat, we could get you those invoices to show that the kittens had been sent away and that they did, in fact, exist. The only person here who has not been able to provide the evidence required to make a definite statement in this is the prosecution, who the best first-hand witness in the entire case was murdered by them. Supposedly in defense, although I did not hear any testimonies of the injured here today, nor any testimonies of the property owners, which supposedly were at large amounts of loss. The only case which can be made here is the only verdict which can be made here is mistrial. The job of evidence is on the prosecution, and they simply did not bring it. And that is all I have to say. The burden of proof is on the accuser. That's the quote I was going for, out of character, just so everybody knows that I know that quote.
Alright. He goes. Everyone is adjourned for 10 minutes while deliberation and other words I've heard in court but don't know what they mean while he makes his decision.
Do the Law and Order sound. Do the Law and Order sound.
I don't have that.
Dun, dun. Hold on. I got you, fam.
To retire to his chambers for further deliberation.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm starting to realize just how much my grandparents watched Law and Order SVU. When I was growing up.
Alright, while you guys are waiting, are you chit-chatting about anything?
Yeah, I'm whispering into Giz's ear about how excited all his testimony has made me. And there's big plans for tonight's celebration. If we don't end up executed or imprisoned.
Well, hopefully we get off, and then we
The
can
criminal
invite
justice
Turd Ferguson
system.
to join
The
us.
people are represented by two
Yes, if we
separate
get off,
yet
then we can
equally
get off.
important groups. The police who investigate
I high
crime
five.
and the district
I
attorneys who
love that.
prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
I try on a glove, and it's too small.
The glove don't fit. He must have quit.
You must have quit. I did play the Law and Order theme, by the way.
Nice. Yeah, Chad is pointing out that the innocent until proven guilty isn't everywhere, and likely isn't in this fantasy world, but whatever.
It is not in this fantasy world.
It's okay. I mean,
In most fantasy worlds, there wouldn't even be a court for you because you'd be considered a commoner scum.
it's feudalistic. There are more than one styles of ancient court systems.
So yeah, there's always the you're
Now, he
guilty
did
until
say
you're
Duke,
guilty.
which very clearly points to feudalism, but I'm gonna ignore that.
But don't forget, we have a trump card. We have the Turd Ferguson play.
That's right.
Alright.
That sweet, sweet poontang.
It's like, do you guys do
No.
anything? Red flashes a little bit more nip than she should.
You guys,
Blade comes out of the slit.
Oops.
you guys are called back into the room to hear the judgment.
All rise for Turd Ferguson.
Please tell me
I
he's got a
literally
big foam
pulled
hat
up
on.
One of the names from another movie. Hunt Lawton is somebody he played in some other movie.
Wow.
Listen, all I'm saying is that was an absolute
I almost went
golden
with
era of
Malone, but I don't know if Judge Malone would have worked out as well.
It's got a nice ring to it. But I would just be picturing Carl Malone.
All rise for Judge Malone from the free throw line.
That testimony was a slam dunk.
Are you Charles Barkley now? It's a terrible, terrible travesty.
All right.
We segue so hard. I love it.
So, everyone sits down after deliberation and consideration at what everyone has stated.
A mastication.
The damage to the noble ward is not nearly as great as it has been told to me. And the displacer beast was taken care of, and it did injure a few guards and caused damage in the Duke's home. And the other home that the original address is supposed to be was abandoned years ago. Unfortunately, we can't figure out who this delivery was meant for. And the Duke is quite far away, so we will not have word for him for a few days. So after careful consideration, I have decided that you are going to have to pay a fine, but not nearly as large as this one here says. Obviously, you shouldn't have released the beast, even knowing that it wanted its kittens. Several creatures are bred and trained, even illegally, and they shouldn't be. And they did cause damage and hurt guards. But the fine is not going to be 14,000 gold. It will be 1,000 gold among you three, Giz, Rasha War, Red Wolf. You may decide how you wish to pay. And that is all. You are free to go. In Russia War, please do not bring those displacer kittens back in the city. Thank
Yeah,
you.
what even happened?
And he hits his gavel. Dismissed.
Now, when he hits his gavel on the count on the what do you call it? The bench.
Yeah?
Does it make a squeaky sound like a clown toy?
No.
Can it?
No. You found a sound for that. All right.
Ba-dum.
Dun dun.
You can pay your fine here at the courthouse.
Turd Ferguson
Please
looks
pay
at
it
Red.
before you leave.
That ain't the only thing in here that's fine.
And he turns and like winks to Red Wolf, and he gets up and walks out through his the door that's on the next to the bench, the judge's area.
Does
And the
he,
bailiff is like, everyone is dismissed.
Yay.
part of me wishes that he just like pulled up his cape like the Phantom of the Opera and just goes.
So, Jack, am I to assume everybody kind of gets rabble-rousy and gets up at the same time and is shuffling out the doors?
Yeah, the guards are still sitting at the prosecution table talking with their inspector as everyone is starting to file out.
Okay. I would like to burn an inspiration to take advantage on a stealth roll.
Okay.
And in the cacophony of bailiffs and stuff moving around and people getting out of their seats, so I'm going to try and sneak into that judge's area.
Give me a stealth check.
Ooh, look at you, girl.
Why was that an advantage? Oh, right.
Inspiration.
All right. You sneak past the bailiff as he's trying to get everyone else like an orderly fashion out, and nobody seems to notice. You creep past and get past the judge's area and open the door and go into the back.
Boom, boom, boom.
So I'm gonna search around for Mr. Ferguson.
He's sitting in a chair off to the side. Seems to be writing over some papers, and he looks up and looks at you and he goes, "Darling, you're not supposed to be back here."
My mind's telling me no.
You weren't supposed to be sleeping with the defense either.
But my body...
Well, then he gets up and he walks over to you. "I didn't know you were going to be the defense at the time." And he puts his arm around you.
So I was thinking maybe another night of entertainment before I leave.
That sounds good. Oh, and thanks for dropping the not so subtle hints of corruption among the guards. We've had our eye on them for the past week after two of them suddenly disappeared. We thought they took the displacer beast kittens and got away. Glad to hear you got to them first. Those guards must have just ran off then.
There may be more evidence that I could share with you, but this fine about... I don't think that we should be able to pay that.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to let that sit, darling. Can't have adventurers coming in and causing any problem and thinking they can just get away with it. Some guards not related to this issue did get hurt. We had to heal them up. There are damages to the Duke's house, even though I don't believe he's involved.
So I don't know much about the law, but isn't there some sort of jeopardy thing? you can't try me for anything to do with this case again?
Double jeopardy? Yeah.
Sure, I think that's what it is. In that case, what if I showed you a few bodies that I have that are guards who we found in the abandoned house? You don't know who it belongs to. And they were protecting the other kittens.
Are you saying you killed these guards?
Me specifically? I don't remember. But I was there.
It
I
wouldn't
have
be
no
double
recollection of
jeopardy
these events.
because you were charged this time with replacing a dangerous creature among the people. This next case would be murder.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a theoretical murder. I haven't admitted to anything. I'm
And
just wondering if you'd be interested in it.
in this case, I think it's better that those guards just left town. Because if they were killed, even though they were doing something illegal by a bunch of adventurers, it would cause quite a uproar in town. We'd have much harder times with people trusting the guards, especially if it found out about all their extortion coming more into light. I think they should just disappear and leave them, I don't know, maybe they took a trip far away. We'll deal with the other ones that are still in town.
Okay. Well, after hours tonight, if you wish to meet me, I can give you an address and a room number.
Oh, we'll meet.
Okay. I'd like to give him the address of the gentleman thief.
You're giving him the hotel number for the gentleman thief?
Yeah.
Okay.
You sneaky bitch.
He takes it.
Okay. See you later.
See you later.
I sneak back out and meet up with my friends.
Alright. By the time you sneak back out, no one's around.
Nice. I guess I'll head back to the Adventurers Guild. I assume that's where they went.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys? Yes.
Are we celebrating at the bar, or what's going on?
It's a celebration,
Quote,
bitch. You never left.
When I come out, everyone's out of the courtroom except there's a bird perched on one of the pews just staring at me, stroking the back.
These are mine now.
Get
Alright.
out of my head.
You're there. Rasha War's with you.
I'm sorry we could not get the fine completely gone, but at least it was reduced.
She looks
Yeah.
over at you and she's just like, "Oh yeah, this works out great. I've already sold my shop to someone in Sardash. Well, basically traded. He's taking my shop, I'm taking his. I'll be leaving town tonight to open my pet store down there, and exotic animals are allowed. So, I'm going to be training them displacer beasts. Are you guys interested in one of them cute little kittens?"
Not me, I've had enough trouble with them.
Relentless kind of raises an eyebrow. And he is interested in one of the kittens.
She looks over and she goes, "Excellent. Well, they're still pretty young, so it's going to take me a couple of months, maybe a year, for them to grow and for me to train them. But once they're up and ready to go, I'll let you know. I'll be in Sardash. You're Adventure Guild members, so you must have the ability to, if you can find somebody, teleport you to Sardash, and we'll keep in touch."
Thank you very much. I would appreciate that. And you give
Sounds
the
great.
one of the kittens a rub right behind their left ear just for me.
I will. What would you like to name them?
Ooh.
Persistent. Persistent night.
Huh. Yeah, I actually like that. We're gonna name him Little Persistent.
Persistent. Got it.
High five.
High
We've got
five.
a naming convention now.
Hang on. How do you spell that? Do you spell it persistent or persistent?
Oh my god. You know. You already know. If you brought it up, you don't even have to ask.
Yeah, that was a silly question almost.
Persistent. If you hear the purr, it's too late. You know what, Jack? You're all right.
So how are we splitting this fine between the three of us? I regret to inform you I lost most of my gold last night in a game of strip poker.
Well, luckily I came into a lot of gold, and that was a pretty fun night. So I'm willing to give back the gold to help you guys out.
Ooh, you can establish yourself as a party member, but ooh, girl.
No, wait. Before we do that, I need to know if there's a catch.
A catch 48.
Well, I'm pretty much done in this town anyway, so if you can, get me out of the town, then it's good enough for me.
Relentless, we are leaving the town as well. Remember the gentleman thief.
We sure are. Would you like to join us?
Yeah.
And Relentless holds up a couple fingers in front of you, specifically 2 fingers, and waves them back and forth in front of you. How do you react?
Kind of confused.
Do you see the fingers?
Yes, I see them.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Relentless is gonna kind of just like nod and like affirmatively like, okay, all right, yeah, come on, you're more than welcome.
You won't even notice that I'm around.
Relentless looks at her butt.
Yes, I do not think that would be true. I have seen the nipple. This could be hope.
Yeah, I think that was how I first was introduced to this character. So
That's true.
I walked in the room and she was naked, so image forever burned in my head. Thank you for that. And she's dummy thick too, so.
Russia War looks at you and hugs Red Wolf and then gives a big hug, lifting him off the ground. And goes, I'm going to hit the road before the guards can try any of their more funny tricks on me.
Before you go, we need to discuss how we're going to split all this money up.
Yeah.
She just turns and puts 500 gold on the table, and she goes,
That's fair.
Would you like more?
No, I think 500's fair. There were
Thank
2
you very
parties
much.
involved, yours and mine, half.
Thank you very much. And she goes walking off.
What did I say there? She raises many kittens.
I hope so too. Takes care of those now orphaned displacer beasts. Hey, should we kill the inspector before we leave?
We can burn his house down.
Most certainly we should do something.
What is wrong with you all?
I do like the burning of the house.
Everybody just immediately, so what should we do before we leave? I think we should string them up.
He may or may not be an arson.
Oh, wait, there's a problem. We can't kill him.
Maybe we don't have to.
We could still burn his house down, though.
Hey, you.
Consult the murderer.
Yes.
I can't help but notice you've been ominously staring at me for a long time. Do you have maybe someone you need to kill?
I always feel the need, Red.
Okay.
It's not you, if that's what you're asking.
No, I think she shivers for other reasons, but maybe at least take an eye or something. It would give him some character. But didn't you have to consult your deity? Make sure it's okay?
The Inquisitor is a bit high profile.
Yes, that is true. Maybe we should cut our losses.
Yeah, I think you're right. But before we leave town, I do think we should write down his name and his address, so if we're ever back in the neighborhood...
A list of his fears.
Definitely a list of his fears. I feel like that was without mentioning. Listen, let's just, from this point on, anytime we're writing somebody down in the quest log, we need a name, an address, and a list of their greatest fears. Also, we need the material which their home is built out of for burning purposes.
Oh my god.
I do not understand why people do not want more adventurers in their towns. We are like heroes.
It's because they're stupid.
Clearly, this town
Well
has
then.
a lack of burned houses.
The hour is in!
We'll
Oh
just
my
have to do it after everybody forgets that we were just in a lawsuit with them. I feel like it'll be a little too obvious.
Yes.
Though now is the perfect time to strike.
No, he makes a good point too. I like that as well.
Okay, we're gonna have to put it up to a vote. Should we murder this guy and burn his house down now, or should we wait?
I think we should ask the new girl. We leave it to chance, just like the game last night.
Wait, what? What am I deciding?
Whether we're all going to commit a heinous crime or not. No pressure.
So if we're gonna burn the house down or not? Because I'm totally on board for that. That was my idea. Of course I'm on board.
Okay.
We'll just leave after. Don't even worry about it.
Praise Paul.
I hope that's going to be your character's motto for the rest of the campaign. Is don't worry about it.
Alright, well...
Leave after and just never come back.
Where'd all these charred bodies come from? Don't worry about it.
Well, I have the perfect cover. I am entertaining the judge at the Gentleman Thief's location tonight, and Giz is interested in a little action as well, so the two of us can keep them distracted while some other people handle the hot flames.
Alright, well, Relentless, what say you? You're technically the leader of this party, so you okay with us burning down this dude's house before we leave? He was kind of rude to you on the stand, I'll have you remember before you make your decision.
Relentless, you'll actually have the memory to remember that the inspector didn't question you. The dwarf
Oh,
did.
damn it. Oh wait, is the dwarf the guy that was a real dick this whole time?
Yeah, the inspector was clearly just... He was the authority figure over
Yeah, I think we're all talking about the dwarf.
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry, I got mixed
then,
up
yeah.
there.
Then yeah, okay.
He seems to be the head of the corruption
Yeah.
that we...
That's my surprise. You guys are like, we should go burn his house down. I was like, what did he even do?
My bad.
He's doing his job. Burn down his house, kill his pets, and shit in his shoes.
We're so
With his
into
short legs, it would be harder for him to outrun the flame.
Alright, so you're gonna...
Oh my
Who's
God.
going where?
Giz
Oh.
and I are going to entertain the gentleman thief if he'll let us into the room with Third Ferguson.
Okay.
We're not part of this little Black Ops scenario.
By the way, every time you
Religious
talk about entertaining Turd Ferguson, I've been playing R. Kelly in the background.
Do you have your passport?
Well, they do have a passport, but it's a 10-year one instead of a 5-year one because R. Kelly only entertains people 13 or younger.
Damn. I wasn't ready.
Well, Chad, I hope you
So-
love topical scenarios.
So
That's canon now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
you, I'm sure Aelin would be up for this. Relentless and Nyla are gonna go burn down that house.
I'm down for that.
Let's do it.
Finer words a DM has never spoken.
Motion to make this next session.
Yeah, we'll do this.
I just love how we just had a discussion with adventurers can't just come in here and do whatever they want. Yet we come in here and do whatever we want.
As long as we pay the fine, I think we can.
Oh my
Like,
god.
Excuse me,
we're
Donna.
only burning down
I
bad
can't-
people's homes.
We'll do the meet up for Turd Ferguson though. So Giz, Red Eye, it gets a little later in the day.
Red Wolf.
The group splits up, and you head to the hotel a bit early, obviously. What is your plan?
Well, I think the gentleman thief likes me, so I'm going to try and use that to get into the room and then set the mood for when Mr. Ferguson arrives, and have a night of debauchery to celebrate our victory in court, and to further form a bond with our ex-employer for the next month or so while we escort him north.
All right. So when you get there, and you call the gentleman thief down,
Mm-hmm.
what do you say to him?
I say, this is my little friend Giz. He is very smart, and we just won our day in court, so we're very exciting. And we're looking for a little fun. And I cannot seem to get your one-horned face out of my mind.
He looks at you, smiles, and looks at Giz, and he goes, I can understand why you can't get me out of your mind. But unfortunately, and he looks over at Giz, I don't swing that way. I only swing this way, and he takes a step towards you.
That's okay, I'll just watch. I get out a notebook and a pencil and a sketchbook.
Please tell me your homunculus is also watching.
He also has a sketchbook.
Think of them as chroniclers of our adventure.
I expect this
No,
night to
thank
be
you.
legendary, and you should probably want somebody to know about this. This is the type of stuff that gets you fame points, brother.
Don't you want to be a star?
I'm Sidney Scheinberg.
Do you want me to do a persuasion check or something?
There is no persuading. He's not gay, and he's not into being watched.
Okay. Well, what about the first part?
He's interested in you.
Well, that's a thing we could work with. How big is his suite?
He mentions it's relatively large. It has 2 rooms.
There we go.
And he's just like, so, you both want to spend the night here?
I mean, we can go sleep at the Adventurers Guild after.
Fine, but no peeking. And he puts his arm around you, Red Wolf.
I promise I won't peek. Physically.
He looks at you. Give me a persuasion or insight or deception check based on you peeking. Well, he didn't beat that.
So that you roll deception tells me you do plan on peeking.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is technically if I scry on you using a spell, that's not peeking because it's not the physical act of peeking.
I'm not saying it's peeking, but it's totally peeking.
I defer to you because you're a master of the law. So, if you say that's how it is, that's how it is.
So, he takes you up to his room, and when you get up there, he basically tells Giz, stay in the main room, and he leads you back to the bedroom.
Barney follows them.
And he closes the door and does not let Barty in. And he's just like, it's so weird that you would want people to watch.
Don't kink shame.
Kink shaming is my kink.
I don't think it's weird, I think it's thrilling.
Interesting. He looks you up and down in your toga. And he looks at your chest and he goes, I can tell you're quite excited already.
Generally am. So do you like to be on top, or should I just have my way with you?
Oh. Normally I'm the dominant one. Maybe I should give that a try. And he like pulls off his shirt and just like it just like slides straight off him and goes straight to the ground. He's like, have your way.
I would like to rage.
I knew it was coming too.
Okay.
Check at advantage 21.
Hang on, I gotta pull up this NPC sheet.
Me want snoo. Oh man. How am I getting a real like
Okay, so you
snoo
get
snoo
him.
vibe?
I get him.
I get him.
And see? Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, either we fucking or I'm fucking. Oh man, it's too good. Conway, this is when it goes dark.
So, Giz, you hear what sounds like a fight on the other side of the wall. Or the roughest sex ever.
I know Red pretty well, so I don't think that surprises me.
And then you hear a knock at the door. After about like 30 minutes of them banging around and it's not stopping. Are you going to answer the door?
Yeah.
It's the judge.
Why, hello, Turd Ferguson.
I'll never get old.
I can't believe Red told you my fake name. I give all the special ladies of the night.
And that's what he came up with.
No, that is not what he came up with. That's what they called him.
I love your reaction though, and that's what he came up with. What's it be called? Turd Ferguson? That's so
It is
great.
a noble name.
It's a brilliant name because think about you're a judge and you allegedly carouse as Turd Ferguson. Yeah, this guy. And then someone semi catches you and inquires like, This guy is going around as Turd Ferguson. Your defense is easily like, who in their right mind in my position would call themselves Turd Ferguson? You must have me mistaken for another.
Jesus
My
Christ.
fucking face hurts. Oh man, this is my stream now. This is my stream
So,
Oh,
Giz,
Jesus.
you let him in. And
Yeah, of course I let him in.
you hear some banging on the wall. He goes, wow, sounds like she got started early.
Yep. If you hear some rocking, please come a knocking.
Welcome, Matt's in the store.
Well, I mean, why don't you head on in there?
Fucking Price is Right.
Show him what he's wanting.
So he walks back, and you see him knock on the door, and then Red Wolf, you answer the door.
Okay.
What do you do?
I wasn't going to answer it. I was just going to keep doing what I'm doing, but
Oh, you're not going to answer the door?
I don't know if it's locked.
It is locked.
Okay. Well, I'll ask the gentleman thief if he wants to answer the door. It's his door, anyway.
He looks at you and goes, no, don't let your little creepy friend in here.
Oh, I don't think it's him.
Wait, what?
I did someone else, a little more influential.
Oh, what's her name?
Well, I get off of him and walk towards the door and open it. Meet Ted Ferguson, a local judge.
This
He looks
music,
over at Turd Ferguson and goes, please tell me you brought women with you. And he just looks over and he goes, hang on. And he pulls out a sending stone and he turns around, does something into it and comes back and he's like, they're on their way.
What a baller.
Dude,
Yes.
expert motherfucking
5
rebels.
minutes later, there's another knock at the door.
1000%, the man probably has half of San Francisco on speed dial.
To this day.
Yeah,
When
he's
you open-
dead.
When you open the door this time, several women come in. They are
By
mixed.
several, do we mean like a couple or a baker's dozen?
Roll me a d12.
Jeez.
The greatest way to determine prostitutes I've ever heard. Roll a d12.
Whoa.
There's 9 of them. Mixture of humans, half elves. You're pretty sure there's a halfling in there. Maybe a gnome who looks pretty young. And maybe a full-blooded elf. And they all just walk by you. And they're like, the room in the back, right?
Yep, and by the way, Giz walks in with him. Blend in with the crowd.
And that is how the night ends.
Even the homunculus. Like, as the scene gets dark, it goes down into a circle and it just zooms in on the homunculus next to like a couple asses and turns back and smiles like, yeah, Barty getting at his
Furiously
feet.
sketching.
And that's where we'll end it for tonight.
Good night, everyone. Happy Easter.
Good night, everybody. Happy Easter. Hope everybody enjoyed.
Yay.
Night, everybody.
So, very good. Very good. There's some anticipation built in for next week, or in 2 weeks from now. So, if you were interested in more campaigns and what the Bloodcats get into, and you want some conclusion to what's going to happen, giggity, and you want to see Turd Ferguson's awesome face again, tune in 2 weeks. On 2 weeks from now would be May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. So stop back in here at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time and check out what the Bloodcats are going to get into for week 24. Forever from now. Yeah. It seems like forever, but it just builds the anticipation. But I appreciate everybody stopping out today. Venomous Edge being in chat, Kamui, Trig stopping by, Loring, Genkenstein. Who else do we have in here? Forza, Victaro stopping in early. Yeah, and all you people that are lurking, much love to all of you. I appreciate all of you. And until next time, already ending. Yeah, we just finished up. Sorry, Cobalt Bandit. But we are just finishing up. But feel free to tune in 2 weeks when we continue this campaign where we left off. And I'll try to include a little bit of a prologue to get us recapped on the last one. That was a good thing that was pointed out. Just stream forever, you beautiful person. Oh, yeah, I wish. Maybe when I go, like, if I become a full-time streamer, then I can stream forever and we can do different campaigns and stuff like that. I know some people, they run multiple campaigns in one night, so I honestly wouldn't be surprised, but keeping track of all those characters and backstories and all that stuff, it's a lot to take in. But next time I'm going live would be tomorrow. We're going to do Monday Night Fights, and I'm going to be playing some DBZ. And if you have, if you're interested in the game, you have the game, want to come by and play with me for a bit, stop on through, drop on through, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I hope to see you guys then. So until next time, everybody have a great day. Bow, 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 bow.